Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, presumably.
Presumably.
There's a statistical likelihood of hello.
Supposedly.
Well,
Maybe.
first I have a Pizza Hut ad, so I don't know.
But yeah, no,
God.
we'll save those hot takes we were just talking about because I have some opinions as well about that stuff. But we'll
Hello,
save that for
Threadle.
our introduction after our introductions. Hey, Threadle.
Hello.
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 Man, there are too many. I've started too many streams by saying hello. Really should stop that.
This is your bed. You have to lie on it.
It was my fault this time.
I should start more streams with hi there. No, I shouldn't.
No.
That's a lie. That's a
No.
downright
No.
lie.
Bad
and you know
take.
it.
Is it Wednesday? Please. Oh, God damn it. Thank God it's
No,
not
it's-
Wednesday.
It's Thursday.
For all
It's Wednesday, or as I like to call it, Thursday.
Please don't say that. That means I have 2 more days of work, and I just can't deal with that right now.
I don't know. I love that stupid Asuka meme that's going around on Tumblr. It's so stupid.
Well, I mean, anything Evangelion related is bound to make you happy. Let's not lie.
yeah.
Well, you say that, but we don't know. I mean, I don't know how on the pulse you've been with the new Evangelion that's coming to Netflix.
Yeah, it's getting a new dub.
It's getting a new dub, so let's hold fire on that. I'm keeping an open mind, but I'll be real. I'm not keen on.
Are you afraid they'll put in a load of modern references or something?
I'm afraid that they're gonna change the characterizations of some people, namely Shinji, just because people complained about him. You know.
Yeah, I can understand why, but at the same time, that would change the entire point of the fucking show.
Yeah, Threadle. Yeah, that was my fucking reaction too. When they announced fucking Evangelion's coming to Netflix, yeah, I was similarly like, oh cool, you're gonna put the old dub up. That's great, because guess what? Sure is fucking impossible to get it by legit means literally anywhere. And I thought, sweet, we're going to be able to have people experience exactly what other people experienced when it first came out, for better or for worse. And then they announced that they were doing a redub. And everyone who was a fan of Evangelion collectively threw their hands up in confusion. Like, what?
Yeah. I mean, you can... it's a mixed bag, because I've seen things like that do well for anime, but I can definitely see how with something like Evangelion, it's like...
So I'm actually going to throw my opinions out there on this now before we get into the game, because I legitimately won't be able to focus on the game if I'm talking about this.
Yeah,
I want to get this out of my system. Okay, first of all, I want to state to if you're new here, I'm a massive fan of Evangelion, Neon Genesis Evangelion, and it's to a point where I have had not one, not two, but 3 video essays at least planned on Evangelion at some point. I have a lot to say on the show, good and bad. It is my favorite anime, not because it's all good, but specifically because it's a mixed bag. I can understand if you're doing a remake, or if you're doing a remaster, doing a redub as well. Especially doing a redub with the original cast. Not doing a redub with none of the original cast. And I will be real. One of the big reasons that it all had such a huge impact back in the day was because of the performances that were given. I can understand recasting the fucking schmucks in the background who can't read a line to save their lives. There was a lot of that in the 90s. But the original 3, Rei, Asuka, and Shinji, those 3, don't change them. I'm going to keep an open mind. I want to hear what they do with it. The main thing I'm worried about is that everybody who watches Evangelion complains about Shinji, and rightfully so. But his performance, I feel, is so important to his characterization and so important to the show in general that I genuinely am... If they keep the characterization the same, if they keep it so that he does feel the same way as he did in the original, I will be fine with it. Same for Asuka. If Asuka is kept with the same personality, same characterization, I'll be okay with it. I honestly will be. As much as I love the original guys who did it. But if they change it in such a way, and you will be surprised how much a redub can change the context of a line. If they change it to make it so that they are different personalities inherently in the way that they say things, there is going to be a problem. I will listen to it. I will genuinely analyze, and I will be welcome to discussing and receiving the new characterization. But if they are trying to make these characters more agreeable, I genuinely think that's a mistake. They are not meant to be nice people.
The worst thing about the redub of Evangelion is that we're not gonna get Eddie missing the target, hitting the target or whatever.
Yeah, that's.
We're gonna miss out on Eddie's voice actor from Ed, Edd n Eddy being an Evangelion, and that's just wrong.
Is that the same? Oh, there was
every single missile hit the target. Like that was the line.
Yeah, there's the God.
That's amazing.
That's it's the same character who follows up with this just absolutely all-in scream about it happening or something.
No, yeah, just he gets hit by one of the decahedrons or whatever. It's like, ah!
There is some quality fucking all-in acting there. There's also I also really don't want them to change the bit where the power is out in the base, and there's two of them standing down. They're just yeah, it's really amazing. It even though it's so hot in here, the two of them are still cool and in control. And they look up to them and they do look really they're still the same. They're not sweating at all. They're really in control. And then it just cuts to Gendo's feet in a bucket of water. And then one of them just goes, it's hot. And Gendo just follows up with, yes.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Oh my god, but yeah, let's load up this fucking
That's wonderful.
Yeah, Savvy, get in the fucking farm, Savvy.
Sorry?
Yeah. Get in the fucking farm,
Get in the
Savvy,
fucking farm, yeah.
Get in the fucking farm.
Shinji, I do a backflip every single day of my life.
No, that's got too much energy in it. It's Shinji, I do a backflip every single day of my life.
I don't know her voice. I've never watched Evangelion.
That's the thing that makes it so funny to me, is that her whole thing is that she's a doll with no emotions. So the way she would read that is just, Shinji, I do a backflip every single day of my life.
Okay, you've got me. I want to watch this dub now.
Oh, that's not in it. That's a screen cap that somebody faked of her saying that.
Oh, okay, alright, fine. I still want to watch the dub anyway, but...
Oh,
No.
I have been intending for a long time to do a watch party with various people. I really want to show it to you guys. I want to show you why I like the show, and believe it's worthy of discussion, and why there are some really fucking awful bits in it, but why it enriches the whole thing. I could talk about the show forever, so I'm gonna actively put a cap on my fucking Evangelion bottle, which is the size of an ocean, and just screw that shut.
Floats occasionally.
You mentioned...
Let's take advice from Zoe in this case and not open up this box.
Yeah. Let's... thank you for the bits.
Yeah, you mentioned awful bits. Thank you for the good bits, Professor Peanut.
And
Appreciate
once
it.
again, my notifications aren't working for some reason. I have no idea why.
It came up for a brief instant, but it was the stupid zombie one.
What?
Nah, yeah.
Hold on.
Alert boxes are dumb right now.
God, get your shit
It's
together.
Nah, it's a Streamlabs problem. Speaking of problems, though, and slightly speaking about
Thanks, Will.
Monster Prom,
Fuck
because
yeah.
we were on this topic before the stream started. So for those who are watching the stream, currently this will also be a bit of a fun stream in terms of behind the scenes, because I'm currently in process of working on, you may have heard me talk about it last Monster Prom stream, of a potential Monster Prom one-shot. Basically taking the idea behind Monster Prom and turning that into a TTRPG system. Currently, I I didn't need to do much map creation for this, because pretty much what I did is I just took the actual assets from the game and plan on using that as a backdrop. However, one mechanic for the Monster Prom system that I'm making, I guess you could call it, is that weekends work differently. In that, in the game, what it is like you get a random dice toss of something that weekend happened to X character. And, like, you can either, like, put in a good word for one of your fellow players, or, like, have this event where you need to pick somebody who has the highest stat. But the thing is, with that, it doesn't really work in a TTRPG because of the fact that the TTRPG kind of relies on everybody being involved in some way, shape, or form. That doesn't mean that a character specifically having the spotlight for a little bit is bad, but having it be a dice toss as to who's important in the scene right now doesn't work. So what I did is I decided to make each weekend event like an actual event that everybody could be interacting with. So, for example, one of them is going to be like a talent show at the high school, and another one is going to be because I'm going to be running a test game of this that isn't streamed, and then there's going to be the one that potentially might be streamed. But one of the potential event ideas I had in mind was a house party, because high school.
Would it be Monster Mash?
Die. But regardless, regardless, so it's like, okay, I don't really want to make a modern day map right now because if there's one thing you'll know about me when it comes to TTRPGs, I hate map creation so much. It is the bane of my existence. That is the reason why stuff like Journal Seekers takes so much time. So this time around, I was like, I found a bunch of like really good like pre-made maps before. Hell, the entirety of Zelda campaign is used making pre-made maps. So I thought that there had to be at least one good like actual map. And things I got for modern day houses were either black and white outlines of real life houses, like the little like floor plans, or really gritty, ugly, bloody, like modern day stuff where it's like, oh, this is meant for a zombie apocalypse, and it's all gray and blood, and everything looks like it was dumped in a pile of trash, and that Danny DeVito lives here. And it's like...
It's me, Danny DeVito!
It's the zombie apocalypse!
I'm the main NPC in this campaign, and I'm the only... you have to keep me alive. I'm your escort, Leon.
Get your sword! Get your sword!
If you keep me alive, I'll give you this egg for this trying time.
But,
hey, I'm walking here, shotgun sound.
But point being, all pre-made modern day like maps are terrible, and and this is part of a big problem I have with TTRPGs, and hopefully we won't go into the whole tangent because I don't want this to take up the entire stream. I do not like the fact, and this is a personal opinion of mine, and I understand people have their differences. It drives me nuts that high fantasy or fantasy in general is the standard for TTRPGs. Because not only is it that, like, almost every big TTRPG thing is fantasy in some aspect, like high, like medieval fantasy, but it also makes it so much more difficult for people who want to run something other than, like, high fantasy to actually get out there and do their creations. One funny thing is...
I said this earlier, but big mood for getting savvy.
No, yeah, because...
Oh, hey, I forgot about my trees, which took me fucking several attempts to plant.
Oh, no, yeah!
That
Trees.
was horrible fun.
But back on what I was saying. A few weeks ago, I actually caught up with this old artist that I used to follow on Reddit because they left Reddit a few things back, and I started talking with them again. And they brought up the fact that they wanted to run a tabletop game. And I had offhandedly said that, I'd been GMing for 5 years. And they were like, oh yeah, could you give me some tips on how to run this specific thing in 5e? And I was like, there's your problem right there. You're trying to run non-fantasy in 5e. And not only that, but you're using 5e as your first system, because this person was like relatively new to TTRPGs.
No, I'd say 5e is good for first-timers. Absolutely.
I do not agree with that. I do not agree with that at all. as somebody who has been GMing, not to say that like, oh, I have more experience than you, but just like in past experience, every time I've tried to introduce somebody to 5e that was new to tabletop, they did not get it.
All right, so here's the thing. I think it's good for starters. Do you know what I think's better? And do you know what also gets me fucking like probably chased out of most nerd conversations when I say this?
Go for it.
Fourth
we can't
edition's
chase
fucking
you out.
great for that.
I wouldn't know. I had never touched it.
People are fucking vitriolically hateful of 4th edition, and it's real good for beginners. I am not saying it's a good D&D. I am saying it's a fucking fantastic start for people who are new to TTRPGs in general, because it is basically an MMORPG if it were a tabletop game.
Yeah, it's a lot more like, yeah, it has a lot more to do with like placement and like board games type strategy, which feeds into like that part of your brain instead of like more memorizing like a lot of the rules of 5th edition and stuff. Like I get what you're saying. I've never played 4th edition, but I have heard like people talk about it.
I know
so.
next to nothing about 4th edition, so I'll describe this with It Is Always Sunny's quote. I don't know if you're correct about that, but I don't know anything about 4th edition to dispute that.
The one thing I'll ask, would you say that one of the reasons people are so vitriolic about 4th edition is because it's attached to D&D? Do you think if it was on its own, if it was called Adventure,
if it was called Adventure Zeitgeist.
Yeah, do you think people would have had the same?
I think if it
distinct
wasn't D&D, people would have just forgotten about it and not cared that much. But that's the thing. It's different from vitriolic hate.
No, yeah. Here's my take though. I don't think that 5e is a bad system inherently. In fact, the only bad system I've ever come across was the Jackie Chan TTRPG. Don't ask. I genuinely do think that 5e has things that it excels in. But one thing that I've realized a lot, because I didn't have a big tabletop community like I do now. I used to had to introduce people to like games and such, and all I had were 5e and Pathfinder for the first 3 years that I ever GM'd. So that was exclusively what I knew. So whenever I had to introduce people to 5e who were interested, one big problem that always came up was there was too much. There were a lot of options, which isn't a bad thing inherently. Like, having a lot of options means people get more creative freedom, but it got so confusing so fast for a lot of people. And if you notice in Zelda campaign, that exact same thing happened with Chibi.
No, absolutely. I was
and
that was unfortunate, to be honest.
the thing
No,
is
yeah.
that
I'm glad they
I
still had fun, because I'm glad I could still make it fun for them despite all that. But that Chibi wasn't the only person that ever happened to. It happened with Mac when I first introduced them. It happened with a lot of people who I got into TTRPGs who thankfully stuck around, but a lot of them tend to tell me that, 5e wasn't the best for them. Anyways, go ahead, Cod.
I was going to say that in complete, I honestly don't think that 5e, by comparison to some, is that difficult. That might be because I broke my teeth on fucking 3.5.
Huh,
Whereas-
yeah, no, that was my one too.
Yeah, that was mine too.
I'm sitting here thinking, you guys think multiplication is hard? Because I was born in calculus.
Yeah,
That might be why I feel like it's not that big a thing by comparison. But I know that there are lots of different systems that are so much simpler even than 5e.
No, yeah, but my thought process on it all is that a lot of people, like, I came from a very newer generation of tabletop players. A lot of people, like, before my generation got into like all of the earlier editions of 5e or just D&D in general, because that's all there was. Legitimately, like all you really had was Dungeons and Dragons to some extent, and you really didn't have a lot of other options other than that. So it was either Dungeons and Dragons or roleplay with dice at that point. But now that the internet exists and a lot more people are exploring the medium of how you can create a TTRPG system, we have a lot more options. So I understand for a lot more veteran people, like by comparison, looking at 5e, it's like, oh, it's nothing. But to people who have never touched TTRPGs, and a lot of people usually say you should play 5e or Pathfinder. That's not really what they're
Fucking
looking for.
no!
that's-
Fucking kick that person in the dick if they say Pathfinder. If anyone honestly
Why
suggests Pathfinder as your first system, like I grew up with third 3.5. Fuck me, would I tell anyone to fucking use 3.5?
Tell that to my fucking coworkers who introduced me to fucking D&D and saying like, oh, well, Pathfinder's the only way to go. You should do that if you want to learn how.
That's
well, you
called
don't know what to do with that
gatekeeping.
coworker. Kick him in the dick.
Well, yeah, that I was actually going to mention, Savvy, that I think Arson, I think what you're saying with 5e also kind of is adjacent to a problem that I have with just the TTRPG scene at the moment, which is like a lot of specifically Western TTRPGs, like, and this goes from like indie ones to bigger ones and all that. A lot of them have their roots in D&D, and especially like, you know, older D&D stuff before, you know, Pathfinder, like 4th edition changed a lot, and then Pathfinder was made like to alleviate that, but then Pathfinder also does its own thing. Like, that's not a bad thing,
Really
though.
overbloated because it.
Yeah,
If there's
yeah,
one
yeah.
thing I'll give those over 5e, is that there are so like in the same way that there are too many options in 5e. To me, there aren't enough. But that's because I
yeah.
love having so many enough options that I
Well-
get completely sideswiped. Pathfinder became kind of bloated with its options.
Yeah, here's what I'll say. The 5th edition, yeah, good things, bad things, definitely. My favorite thing about it is that it is simple enough that you can kind of apply whatever you want to from it, even if it is stuff from Pathfinder, like, pretty easily. Like, it's very homebrew friendly. I do like that about it.
Here's the thing, and like apologies, but like I feel like you shouldn't have to do that. Like you shouldn't have to be
No,
like, oh,
there's
it's not here, so
definitely
we
an
can
argument to that. No, that's definitely an argument, which, like, the point I'm trying to make is that it's not a bad thing that these things come from D&D, or that is, like, its legacy, sort of. Like, you know, because the legacy of D&D is mainly, like, at the time period where it was, you know, starting to become a niche thing, TTRPGs were this, like, super looked down on gross thing in, like, from societal perception. And now that it's overcome that, a lot of stuff is also starting to come from it, and that's good. But the unfortunate thing is that people have this idea, I think, that, like, and this is definitely not a universal thing. I'm going to be generalizing when I say this, but I feel like a lot of people do kind of cut their teeth on 5th edition or D&D, and then think that whatever other system they make needs to be like that, but with a different theme. Because the problem is that, like, TTRPGs are Satan. Yeah, exactly. But like, the problem is that I see a lot of games that have really cool themes, but are bogged down in this idea that, like, you need to have these, like, dice mechanics, you need to have complicated character sheets, you need to have all this stuff. And, like, again, I'm not saying that more complicated things that do that, like Pathfinder or Shadowrun, are probably good examples of, like, very mechanics focused games. I'm not saying those are bad. I'm just saying that, like, the legacy of D&D is, like, has very deep roots in the idea that it is a competitive, mechanics-driven, rulesy, rules is written type game. Because D&D, a lot of people forget, when it was created, it was not even really like a TTRPG the way we would recognize it. It was more like a competitive sort of Warhammer-like board game.
Yeah, it was
Like-
but also like when it started to graduate more into a roleplay thing, it was to a point where like the people really fucking misunderstand this, and it's a real fucking shame. When it first started out,
Gary Gygax.
Gygax, yeah, he wrote the rules, and he provided his fucking personal number, just like, if you have a question, like, just call me up and I'll let you know. And anytime someone called up with like, hey, we had trouble with this rule, we couldn't really pass it, and then he would ask, well, how as GM did you rule that it should be resolved? And they'd tell him, and he'd say, yeah, that sounds good. And that would be it, because his whole thing was just like, this isn't about rules, it's about you just playing the game, just playing the game.
But see, I've heard some conflicting things to that too. Like, the problem is that D&D wasn't even called like a TTRPG when it was made. It was fantasy wargaming, right? And the idea was that you were competing against each other and against the people who were creating these maps to like complete it in the most efficient way, sort of. Like, it wasn't really based on story or characters or anything like that.
Sure.
And in fact, when that first started surfacing, like, the people in charge of it, and I don't know exactly how much Gary Gygax had to do with it, but they were super resistant to that. They called them like story gamers. Like, no, get out of here. This is our like shitty math game. We don't want you trying to role play in it. And like the issue is that even though that has definitely changed a lot, that it still has its roots in that, right? And it's definitely changed a lot. But like, it's just annoying to see like really cool games and cool ideas for games that people have that all are trying to be D&D but not D&D. And like, again, they're not all trying to do that. Let me reword that. They're not all trying to do that, but that is a trend I've seen. And it's like, that's part of what draws me so much to like Anime Campaign, is that it uses a D20, but other than that, it's like very rules light. Like, do whatever the fuck you want. Like, it's barely using D&D. Like, it's a bootleg of a bootleg, right? So it's like not very recognizable so much as some other things I've seen are. And again, I'm not saying that there's anything inherently wrong with it. It's just harmful in terms of like people. It's inaccessible.
No, I feel that.
My whole. Sorry, do you want to go ahead?
No. It was a very small comment I was going to make. You go ahead.
No, yeah. You see, my thing with this whole scenario, and I definitely do agree with what Iris says. I actually hadn't even noticed that, but you're right. Is that a lot of the time when people when offhandedly they're always like, "Oh, I want to get into tabletop." A lot of them always usually say something along the lines of, "But I don't want it to be Dungeons and Dragons," which what they really mean is, I don't want it to be high fantasy. Because the thing is, when it comes to tabletop, that is the thing that a lot of people sell. That is the big thing. It is Final Fantasy, it's World of Warcraft, it's X or this. Nobody ever says, "Oh, it's Animal Crossing, oh, it's Persona 5. It's always just something where it's high fantasy is what we excel at. And while that is true to an extent, I definitely do think that people have done a lot of great and fantastic things with using the high fantasy standard. A few examples: Adventure Zone Amnesty, the Ebon Ward, Critical Role, a lot of fantastic things. Exactly, Windrose. Well, even then, Windrose, I'll get to that. That's a different topic. But suffice it to say, a lot of great things can come from the high fantasy standard, But a lot of the times when people come to me being like, hey, you're a GM, how do I do this? But not have it be high fantasy, a lot of the time they usually like look at Dungeons and Dragons because like that's all anybody ever talks about. Whenever people like are new to TTRPGs,
I'm
all they talk
gonna
about is Dungeons and Dragons.
I'm just throw in straight away. There's a lot of systems I like. There's a lot of systems I haven't explored as well. One of my systems I've always stuck by. It's pretty rules heavy, but I love it. I fucking adore the Vampire D10 system. It is...
Masquerade?
Yeah, Vampire the Masquerade.
Yeah. I've read some of that. I've never played it.
There is something inherently satisfying about being given, like, here's an out of 5 score with dots that you fill in. Not a number, a dot. And you get to say, I've got fucking 3 out of 5 dots in this. Like, there's something inherently satisfying about then going, I have 7 total, so I'm going to pick up 7 dice. And I have to get a 5 or lower to succeed.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I like
that. I think
that.
Tenra Bansho does something similar too.
But then there's stuff like Shadowrun, where then it just takes that and runs with it for too long, and then you're picking up 30 d6, and I don't like that.
I just had this great image of it's taking that and running with it, and you're just like putting your hand up to your forehead and squinting at the horizon. It's like, oh, it's still going. I can't even see it anymore, but there it goes.
Yeah.
But d6s will blot out the sun.
But I was...
Because, like, one thing I do... Sorry, Iris, do you want to go ahead?
I was just gonna very, very quickly interject by saying, like, I was also gonna say I like the template of Powered by the Apocalypse systems.
Oh, it's
like
excellent.
Going off of that, because instead of the template of, well, here's your not barbarian, and here's your not cleric, and here's your skills, and here's your d20s. It's more like, okay, here's a template for a theme, slap it in there. Do whatever you want with it. Like, I think that's a pretty, like, I think there are a lot of very cool games that are working with that too. That's all I wanted to say. Continue.
And I do love that about Powered by the Apocalypse, but one thing that I do want to try and bring to the forefront is, like, not only do I believe that 5e isn't a great starting choice for people in tabletop because of the fact that a lot of the times they get choice overload. Another problem is that, like, it perpetuates the theme and idea that tabletop is just high fantasy. Because when people get into tabletop, usually they think D&D. So if you reaffirm their thought of, like, yes, you're right, D&D is a thing that exists, and here's how it works, and, like, that's it. Like, that's what a lot of people do. When a lot of people welcome people into TTRPGs, and I'm not saying they're doing this out of a malicious intent, it's just that they also, older generation that are more used to D&D and all the other editions, like, they're reaffirming the mentality that TTRPGs are fantasy. And I try and avoid that as much as possible. When people come to me like, oh, hey, how do I run D&D? I tell them, well, you can run D&D. Like, D&D 5e is an option. Like, I don't just shut them down saying, no, don't do that, because that would make me an asshole.
You've already failed.
I agree. Because the other thing, too, is I'm also very sick and tired of, like, when you introduce groups to D&D, like, yeah, even if it goes well, that's cool and all. It's like, hey, it's D&D, right? Like, you say it as in, like, yeah, it's D&D, as in that's this all-encompassing umbrella, like it's like a totally in its own world thing. And then when you try...
If there's this one pet peeve that I have, it's people just calling the mere idea of tabletop D&D, where it's like, that's all there is. I understand that's an easy mistake you can make, but...
Yeah, what it is then, because then you have to go, oh, well, this other game looks fun too. It's like D&D, but... And then you have to list off all the things like, okay, well, it's simpler, it doesn't do this, it does this instead, it's more focused on the roleplay, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, you have to explain everything in the context of being or not being D&D, and it gets annoying. Yeah, well, and I know...
That is, though? It's because of the fact that D&D is the thing that you can be sure, oh, people will know this.
Oh
it's
no,
not
no,
like
I
I'm trying to
completely
explain-
understand.
It's not like I'm trying to explain. Okay, well you take this thing. It's called a D20. It's a 20-sided dice. I know that's kind of weird, but you roll it and you take the number. Like you don't
Yeah.
have to go to the very basics. You can say, okay, start at D&D. Now work your way to here. And like it.
Oh, no, you're
it
right.
sucks, but it's the reason why we do it.
You're right. I'm not saying even that it's a completely bad thing, because again, a lot of these things come from D&D. It's what we hear, in quote unquote the West, whatever that even means, like know about the most. And it's like, I get that. I just would
Did you
really,
swallow
really
toothpaste,
love.
Savvy?
By accident.
Did you just spill? You better change your pants now.
Oh no!
Sa-
I better get.
Savvy
out of
thought he
those
could get away with that while I
trousers.
was talking.
You better take off your pants.
Oh. No, I was just gonna say, like, again, I just hope that we get to a point in the evolution of the genre that, like, we can just kind of step out from under that umbrella. I just want to step away from it, because, like, there are already just, like, an infinity awesome games out there to check out. And
Oh,
that's
absolutely.
wonderful.
And they
It's
don't get enough
wonderful.
attention. Although,
But not only do they not get enough attention, but like people just like almost aren't even like, it seems like they aren't even interested in the shadow that D&D, like the monopoly that it's casting. And again, I love D&D, but can we just step out from under its umbrella a little bit, please?
I want to make somewhat of an argument. That
You?
part.
Just kidding.
Who'd have thought, right? I think, and I am slightly biased, because, and you'll hear why in a second after I've made this point. I genuinely believe that part of the reason that there's such a fatigue around high fantasy is because high fantasy doesn't actually fucking mean high fantasy these days. High fantasy means Tolkien fantasy. And I'll be fucking frank.
Totally.
I'll be fucking frank. Tolkien was great when he did his thing, and at the time, revolutionary. A bit too fucking revolutionary, in my opinion, because it's all it fucking is now, and it's actually exhausting. Don't get me wrong, you could tell great stories with a Tolkien fantasy, but people have it in their heads that if you're doing high fantasy, you need elves, you need dwarves, you need orcs, or you need equivalents. And, like, it's to a point where, like, here's the thing, right? When I was properly getting started on D&D and everything, and when me and my friends first started discovering that there are other systems out there was one conversation which happened all the time, which was, basically it went along these lines. Person A: oh man, I don't know, I'm kind of bored of D&D recently, like, do we want to play something else? Person B: well, actually, I picked up this game recently, like, it's got a pretty weird system. It's a new system. Person C: I don't know. I don't really feel like learning a new system. It's, like...
Yeah, with the assumption that they're all as new and insane as D&D.
Yeah,
exactly.
But then person C's like, oh, I don't want to learn a new system. And someone else is like, oh, yeah, no, that's fair. And then they go like, oh, well, is there anything that's like D&D? And it's just like, nothing that's different enough. It's all just D&D again. You know, it's all just Tolkien fantasy again. And then eventually it just goes on a loop where you're just like constantly being like, what can we play? Oh, I don't want to learn that game. And then eventually it just cycles back around to, oh, fuck it, let's just play D&D. And that's fucking terrible. And so here's where my bias comes in. I'm making my own D&D setting, and I have been for a very, 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 very long time. Nearing in on 10 years, actually. And it's only been in the last 2 years recently that I started realizing, man, I don't fucking care about any of the fucking Tolkien races. I was systematically removing every single Tolkien race without realizing it, until eventually I got to a point where it was like, I had like dwarves and orcs left or something like that. And I was just like, fuck it, I'm just getting rid of them. I'm just and now it's completely my own mythos, it's completely my own world. And honestly,
that's okay.
I think that's half the issue. I think half the time people are not sick of D&D, they're sick of fucking elves and dwarves. Because the other thing is
that is a problem. Yeah.
Yeah, like you need to actually have some kind of something you're trying to fucking do and say with your setting as well. And it needs to be more than just medieval fantasy. You need to try and do something more.
Imperials?
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
is this bitch trying to sell you a pumpkin for over 1,000 gold?
Because it's out of season.
That's
Anyway.
still bullshit.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
but-
that's my opinion, is that I think that the issue is that people don't try and do anything with it. Like, for example, Skyrim is my example of doing your own version of a high fantasy setting badly. Or, I'll be honest, I'm going to be controversial here, Elder Scrolls in general, because it's just, like, great.
I don't know if that's so much of a hot take.
No, but,
Yeah,
like...
Skyrim is just a smaller part of the Elder Scrolls. So.
Yeah, like, the Elder Scrolls, it's just, like... What are you even trying to fucking do with your setting? It's just... You're just doing Tolkien games. That's all it is. That's all you're doing. They don't actually try and say anything. The reason that Fallout, for example, is so good, or so popular, rather, or the original Fallouts are good, at least, is that they are actually trying to fucking say something with their setting, and everything, when done correctly, is done in an effort to enhance that message, and I think that's what makes the difference, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really, like, evident with how, like,
Sorry, I'm gonna
not,
drop out for a second, guys.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I think it's evident with how, like, maybe not mechanically so much, like I was saying, but if we talk about thematically, people are trying to get away from D&D, not only because they can't fucking compete with it, it's D&D, but because they are tired of it.
Yeah.
Like, I see, like, a lot of stuff, for a ton of different genres and everything, and it's really cool. I think also, like, if you want to do a fantasy, like, even if you want to do a fantasy, right, it's okay. It's okay if you want to do a fantasy, and it's okay if you want to have elves and dwarves and stuff. Like, if that's what you want to do, go for it. But also, please, like, look at other parts of the world instead of just Europe. Like, can we look around at, like, other places, other areas? Like imagine something new, like that's really
Here's what I have to
important.
say, because I was having a conversation with Mac a few hours before about a conversation very similar, and there's this one point that I've been trying to get across but haven't exactly found the words amidst the conversation, but I think I know how. So, Into the Spider-Verse. Let's just use that as an analogy for a second.
No spoilers, I've not seen it, but carry on.
I will not say anything about it. I'm merely talking about this from an animation perspective, like actually just like how the animation's done. And
Okay.
You've seen Spider-Verse, you know it looks good. I don't need to tell you that.
Absolutely.
So, me and Mac previously, and I'll try and keep this analogy short just so I can get to the point, we're talking about how Spider-Verse, animation-wise, is goddamn phenomenal and blew everybody out of the water. And one thing that I love in being able to talk to Mac is currently they live where animation is thriving right now. They're as deep in the scene as they could be. And one thing that both me and Mac agree on is animation is as stagnant as it is right now is because people assume we've hit the ceiling. And that ceiling is called Pixar and Disney, where everybody's like, oh, look at Pixar and Disney.
Yeah, no.
Man, if they think that's the pinnacle, they are close-minded.
No,
Oh,
yeah.
God,
they
no.
do, though. That's the problem. And, like, again, Mac would know about this. They are studying animation, and it is their lifeblood right now. But that is the big problem, is that people think the ceiling is Pixar and Disney. And, but then Spider-Verse comes out and is extremely new conceptually, not only in its storytelling, but just in its animation. And that's part of the reason why I have such an issue with high fantasy in tabletop, is because people think that's the ceiling. People think, like, for setting and story, they think that is the ceiling. Like when you're introduced to tabletop, it's always D&D 5e high fantasy, and that is the most you can do with tabletop. And the reason why I feel like it's not a great idea to introduce people to D&D 5e as their first system isn't because I think that D&D 5e is inherently bad, although I do think there are some rules issues with showing it to new players, but that's a completely different point that I feel like we've expended enough. It's that when you introduce somebody to D&D 5e, it is the equivalent of being like, here's Toy Story 3, this is the best you can do with animation, and not saying a word about Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's always just like, it's confusing what is commercially successful with what is inherently enjoyable / like diverse. Like, you know, I like Disney movies. Are they like, do they break the mold? No. Like, they created the mold and then they have stuck pretty firmly in that. And it's like, we're starting to get more abstract with this conversation, with just saying like, don't be so averse to new things. Please step out of your comfort zone and look around and do research and experience new things, you know?
Exactly.
Like, allow yourself to be open to those new things.
And like, we'll stick out of this analogy for the time being because I feel like I've said my case. However, one small thing I will say is that as time goes on, Disney and Pixar films are becoming less and less appealing.
Yeah.
But we'll leave that off. That's a different conversation.
Also,
back to TTRPGs.
Marvel. What?
Yeah.
Oh God, let's not talk about that. I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, straight up, we're not getting into that. I do not want to talk about Marvel. Honestly, I would rather fucking go to bed than talk about Marvel right now.
No, yeah.
I'm not going to talk about Marvel. I will say that, just added on to that, like, there's nothing wrong with liking things that are popular, but you should have a problem with the fact that Disney owns and produces everything. Even if you think it's good, it should not be all consuming.
It should worry you that that a monopoly is slowly forming. Anyway.
Okay. Off topic.
Not that slowly, but yeah.
Anyway, one thing I do want to touch on with TTRPG stuff is that
it sucks. Moving on.
I think that how do I phrase this? One thing which really sucks to me is people's inability to recognize that there is such a thing as a midpoint, and there is such a thing as a game which is not for you. Because there is a lot of examples of games which are just either, good in some areas and not in others, or just straight up aren't your kind of game. And one example of a game which I feel is excellent at its core, but has a really unfortunate presentation is Necronica. Because One thing for certain that I will say about it, I am disappointed that there is not a more robust system behind role-playing, but at the same time I understand why. It's because it's encouraging you to just do it without being restricted by stats. On the other hand... sorry, I want to just finish my point really quick.
Go ahead.
Necronica's fucking battle and character creation system is one of my favorites I've ever come across. And the rulebook's art is honestly... an actual fucking deterrent, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would definitely agree.
Yeah.
Like, there's a difference between being dark to fit the tone and being, like, needlessly, like,
edgy.
Why are you like this?
Yeah.
Like, and I think that it did not do that very well. And like, well, and I would add, like, aren't there, like, I recall there being rules around role-playing a bit. Well, not rules, but, like,
there's conversation
I'm referring
checks.
to the, like, conversation checks mechanic and also the, like, fetters mechanics. What would you do to improve those? I'm genuinely curious.
For me, it's more like there's no skill checks, is what I'm saying. Is that everything is surrounded around combat. There is no actual, like, hey, if you want to
right.
if you want to...
Yeah.
There is a it's there, it's trying. There's a couple places where, say, for example, super strength is like, oh, you get a +1 to just stuff to do with strength, right? So it's like, okay, so that's actually for like out of combat stuff. But there isn't a robust enough system around
It's not fleshed
skill
out, yeah.
challenges. Anyway, Arsons, we've interrupted you. Carry on.
No, yeah, because I was gonna say I'm trying to get to the heart of this conversation, but we keep on getting off topic. Okay, so
If you like that.
let me try and reorganize my thoughts because we've been going all over the place, and I'm just trying to get to this one specific point. Okay, so
Hey, God.
hey,
there.
welcome back. So
Sorry, my mum called me. I
nice.
came back just in time for the midnight jellies. Will we see the green jellyfish? Come on, where the fuck are you, you piece of shit?
Arsons, carry on.
Okay. The one thing that I've been trying really hard to get at, and I really think is super important, is the big problem that I have with 5e and high fantasy in general being the introduction point is that it reaffirms this concept that to people like, yes, this is what tabletop is here for. If you are here for tabletop, it is for 5e, Dungeons and Dragons, and high fantasy, which is part of the reason why I think it's a bad idea to introduce that as your first system. I definitely think you should be like, yes, 5e is here, and you shouldn't shut down people who are there for that high fantasy aspect, because if you're introducing somebody to TTRPGs and they're like, I want to do high fantasy, then be like, awesome, 5e's right here. But at the same time, a lot of the time when people, and this is just my experience, I understand that's different for a lot of people. In my experience, when I try and introduce people to tabletop, they don't want to do that, but they're constantly like, how do I do this in 5e? Because that's all anybody ever talks about. And I hate that. I hate that there's this systematic idea where 5e is the only thing you can talk about to new players, and that's the only thing that can exist under that umbrella. It's part of the reason why I always tell them 5e isn't the only system. And you'd be surprised, that blows people's minds. Like, that literally, like, is like, you're serious? Like, people really aren't willing to go out there and say that 5e isn't the only thing. Like, that is a crazy statement to new players. Like, you'd think it wouldn't be. Like, you'd think it'd be like, it's like how there are different genres to video games, or like how different video games run on different engines or stuff like that. But no, the saying of, oh, hey, there isn't just D&D is mind-blowing to them. And that kind of feels satisfying to me, because I'm able to tell them that there's stuff like Golden Skies or like Blades in the Dark or Masks or anything like that, because it gives them the opportunity to not only know that there are more options, but more often than not, they're like, oh no, yeah, I totally want to do that more. And like, it leads to a gateway of me being like, talking to them about Masks or talking to them about Golden Sky stories and introducing them in a way that they're interested in. And that's the important part. A lot of the times, newcomers are like, I want to run D&D, but, and then there's an issue. Like, they want to play in tabletop, but they're stuck to the Leech umbrella that is D&D 5th edition, when they don't have to. They don't have to attach themselves to that umbrella.
Yeah, and another quick thing to that, D&D is really not a good system for doing one-shots, and a lot of the time people think, oh, D&D, I need to plan out 100 sessions of shit, and then also find people who are willing to do that much shit, and it's like, no, you can do a one-shot with it, and there are also other systems that are better at doing a one-shot with. Like, that's a big constraint I see often.
Exactly. You probably could use a sword for that. Might be quicker.
Thank you. Nope, doesn't work.
Really? Fuck. Never mind then. I'm an idiot.
But like, that's... I'll bookend this conversation, because we've been doing it for a while, with the idea that, like, I don't hate 5e. I truly don't. But at the same time, the more I look at 5e, it's like, we need to show people that there are different stuff, because every time I talk to somebody who's like, hey, you DM stuff, what's your recommendation? And I show them something that isn't high fantasy, they always are so happy and so excited to do something that isn't 5e. Of course, that is just like, there are people that genuinely want to do fantasy, and more power to you. My issue isn't that high fantasy exists, it's that there's this thought that that's all there is, and it shouldn't be.
Exactly. I mean, that's the heart of what we've been saying the whole time, is basically that. And like, not only are there different systems and different ways of playing, as many different ways of playing as there are groups, as many different systems as there are people with ideas for them, but there are even more, like, behind that, there are also different types of people with different backgrounds and different experiences who all want to share and express those experiences through either making these games or playing these games or streaming these games or whatever the hell. And like, it's important to realize that, like, it goes beyond that. It goes beyond that basis that you're given.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll have to excuse me if I'm not involved in conversation too much anymore, because this is the start of a new season, and I need to be very involved in what I'm doing.
Yeah,
it's
you're in
okay.
the planning part.
That's part of the reason we're here.
And one of the things I'll say is that I really like high fantasy, not in terms of Tolkien. I like it because of all the media, of all the settings, it allows for the greatest creative freedom. In that, if you went with a modern on-Earth system, you are constrained to the fact that there are certain things that are known and are established in this world. So things like, it's a 9-to-5 job. It's you have to pay taxes, stuff like that. There are too many things that are, that's not how it goes because here's the reality. I prefer having the ability to just say, no, I've decided that it's like this, and the reason why it's like this. I could give a sensible reason, or I could just say, fuck it, the reason it's this way is because I said it is. And even just on more fundamental levels, like the people that are available, the different cultures, races, and things like that. In high fantasy, there's still so much more room, I feel, than modern settings or futuristic settings, because even in those, there's the concept that it has to be constrained by technology or science a bit. Whereas with fantasy, you can go balls to the walls and nuts if you want to.
Well, but here's the thing though. The constraint you're talking about there is an individual perception that comes along with those genres as well, because like this extends to not just high fantasy here. Like, you can say that a lot of high fantasy comes from Lord of the Rings. Well, a lot of cyberpunk shit comes from Blade Runner, and Blade Runner is a cool movie, but it isn't all there is to it. Like, you can, like, people think about like cyberpunk stuff. Like, this is actually something that hits home for me a bit, because I love cyberpunk stuff. I've always wanted to do it, but I've always felt constrained in the way you're saying, and that it's like, okay, I need like a gritty murder mystery or a gritty social commentary on X and stuff like that. And it's like, no, not really. I mean, you can use what you're saying is that, like, what I'm saying, I mean, is that you can have different tonal shifts even within those genres too. It's just that a lot of people don't want to try it a lot of the time.
Alright, it's time to do some numbers.
Okay.
Numbers.
Do you want us to be quiet for a while here,
No,
Sammy?
you can keep talking. I'm just
Yeah.
staying. I just wanted to state that out loud so people aren't like, why the fuck are they just on the pause screen?
Fair enough. But one thing I also will add an addendum to that, COD, is definitely, I absolutely understand that vibe, but I have two things to say about that. One, you're absolutely correct in your, or at the very least, I agree with you in how you say that like high fantasy definitely has its merits. One specific thing that I feel like we could both agree on, Final Fantasy IX. Wonderful fantasy setting. Absolutely amazing. Love it to death. And another great example that I think that probably a lot more people can understand, Majin Quest. Majin Quest is my favorite surprise round project that has the fantasy tag to it. I feel like
it's very creative in terms of its world building.
hmm But another thing that I feel like I definitely don't 100% with is the idea that a modern setting in a TTRPG has to conform itself to reality. That you need to have X and Y because it's modern day and it's reality. But it's also the mantra of you're writing it, you can do whatever the hell you want. Like, the reason that I like the Mother series so much as I do is because it is a modern setting that still has the fantastical elements just from writing in general that I love so much. It's a modern setting, but it isn't bogged down by what is conceived as real.
Yeah. What I would say, COD 2, is that, like, the idea of, like, oh, you can go balls to the walls crazy with fantasy, I think is in part, like, kind of spawning from the fact that it is so saturated. Like, the fact that so many people have done it, and, you know, we've all seen, you know, the kind of happy medium that is Lord of the Rings, but then the more grittiness of Game of Thrones and all that shit. We've all seen a lot of stuff like that. Like the fact like kind of where anime campaign comes from, like the idea like, oh, we're just gonna go crazy with it, you know? Like, I think that comes from just the fact that it's like, well, we've done all of those other things to death, let's try new things. Well, if we do more in other genres, then inevitably those will start to expand too. You know, that's
Also,
kind of my thought.
A perfect example from chat. Chask in chat just says, Pokemon's modern, but we sure don't have the ability in real life to put animals in tiny Gashapon capsules.
Yes,
Yes.
but I was actually going to reply to that saying, yeah, but at the same time, think of some of the constraints in Pokemon that don't make sense. And I think a big part of it for me would be immersion, is that, and free healthcare, yes. But there's
the
things
most
like,
fantastical thing in that game.
why the
Let's
fuck
not
are
get
you
into
going
that.
around by on foot for all of this? Cars exist. You're in a modern setting. There's apparently we're allowing kids to go into the fucking wild and just get attacked by monsters.
Yeah, but
consider that
it's
there's
established.
immersion thing there.
Now, here's the thing: it's actually established in canon that the world is incredibly peaceful, and wild Pokemon decided to help us. They aren't attacking us.
Yeah,
they show up because they want to be caught.
Yeah, what you're going into is like just suspension of disbelief shit, like,
which is fair.
Yeah, which
I'm
is fair.
not good at that. I need a certain amount of, okay, this needs to make a tiny bit of sense for me to at least grab onto.
Yeah, and that's okay, right? Like, that's just what you want out of a lore or whatever. Like, for me, like, because for me personally, like, as long as the tone of something is clearly, like, established, like, as being a certain thing, as long as you don't deviate from that too much, I'm not gonna question much. There are parts of, like, Pokemon, certainly, more than most. Like, I've actually been playing some of these recently for the first time, so I have some thoughts on them. Pokemon definitely, more than most series, is like, oh man, if you question anything, you're going down a big rabbit hole, because there's a lot of just like, wait, but yeah, but really it's just like, all right, this is the thing they're setting out to do, and for the most part they do it well. What the humor and silliness comes in when Pokemon doesn't often break tone and try to go for different things, but when it does, you're suddenly like, oh boy, I have a lot of questions. But yeah, like, for me, that's part of the fun too, though. I'm someone who's willing to embrace that. I mean, that's just kind of why different stories resonate with different people, I think.
Mm-hmm. And from my point of view, one thing that I always, when it comes to...
I did not mean to buy that many.
God has... Oh no, now the pumpkin problem from Chibiville is coming.
Oh no!
I see
I've been
imported.
infected.
What am I going to do with all these pumpkin seeds? Savvy says, his eyes turning coal black.
Oh no, I did not mean to sell them either.
That's what you're going to do with all those pumpkin seeds.
It's fine. Just a 500 gold mistake. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Oh god.
It's not like this is a
Look,
fucking
you could do it-
theme
you could
or
do it
anything.
21 more times, okay?
Okay.
Anyway, go on.
With what I
Oh.
was saying is, my thought process is that when it comes to any medium, video games, books, anything that involves writing in general, is that you are literally creating your own world that literally does not need to have any constraints with the perception of reality. As long as you stay consistent to the way you write your world, it's fine because
Yeah.
it's not ours. Like I
As
understand
long
that
as
for
there
different
is
people. I understand that for different people it's contextual because different people get different amounts of enjoyment out of certain stories. It's part of the reason why some people just legitimately don't like anything that's fantastical. They like stories that are more grounded in reality. And there ain't no shame in that. Like, do
Yeah, that's fine.
whatever it is. But I definitely feel like people should be more open to something that's a little bit more outside of what is considered quote unquote normal. It's
Yeah.
part of the reason why I hate the phrase, wow, was this guy on drugs when he wrote this? I hate that. I hate that phrase so much.
Yeah,
it's
it's
dumb.
fucking hell.
Because
It's very stupid.
they forego the concept of somebody coming up with an idea that was creative for just wow, this guy was high when he wrote this. Like one of my favorite stories that I'm currently getting into is Awful Hospital, which basically plays around with the concept of reality as we know it is not, and the way we perceive it is incorrect. One of my favorite examples of how Awful Hospital screws around with the perception of reality is that time is not how we think of it is, as in linear. Time is affected on layers, in that how long you have existed in something means you are on a new layer. So, prospectively, everything is more forego the shitty joke, an onion as opposed to a literal like line of time. And then it just runs with that. Awful Hospital runs with this concept of we are rewriting reality within this medium. And it's fascinating to watch.
Hey.
Yeah, and to
Sorry,
just
quick
Oh, go on.
opinion. What?
Go ahead.
What should I grow more of? Because for the bundles, I need eggplants and yams, and I'm not keen on either of them aesthetically. Yes, I'm focusing on that. So I'm just wondering, do I want more cranberries or do I want more grapes?
I'd say cranberries. I'd go for cranberries.
Yeah, you don't find cranberries out in the wild.
I think
Is that true?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure I've never seen cranberries. I know that you can get grapes.
Do I want some sunflowers as well? 'Cause
Ooh, yes, absolutely.
They produce seeds again. Yeah.
Mother 3 bias. Pick the sunflowers.
I can get a set. Gotta be careful with my money. Okay, I'll get my bundle ones first. I think a set of 6 yams will be fine, to be honest. Okay, that's one of my 6s done.
But yeah, just in terms of like the only time my immersion is ever broken in a story is if it goes against something that exists within the story. Because when I pick up to read something or play a game, I understand I am entering a world that somebody else made. And they're the ones making the rules. The rules may be based on our reality. Like if we're talking Heavy Rain, then yeah, that is a game that takes place in reality. Subjectively, it is a David Cage game.
Are you
Yeah,
sure?
That's a bad decision. That's a bad
yeah,
example.
you know, yeah, bad example. Bad example.
Sean!
What's a better example?
Jason.
Sean!
You get what I mean. You get what I mean. You get what, if somebody's writing a story that takes place in our reality, then one could assume that it plays by those rules. But if we're talking about something that's more out there and is more based off of a different set of rules, then as long as they don't break the rules that they make themselves, then I'll live with it. But I also understand
Yeah.
it's not how everybody runs off of.
Well, yeah, because I mean, just to go back to Pokemon for 1 second, like in in a normal modern setting, if there was a group of criminals running around, and causing trouble, and they were like, "We're not gonna give your Pokemon back," I would expect a cop to roll up, take out a gun, and blow the lead dude's fucking face off. But you know what? If that happened in
I
Pokemon,
prefer if
I'd
they
be like,
chase them.
well, all right, now hold on. Well, even just tasing them in Pokemon, I'd be like, oh, all right, okay then. So yeah, it's all
Okay,
about just
sorry.
internal logic.
Sorry,
Go on.
follow-up question. Main thing. What do I want 30 of?
Sunflowers.
Why would you ask?
Pumpkins.
Please don't do that.
No, we're not doing 30 pumpkins.
What about 30,000?
Again, this isn't Sheepville.
So I've currently got, the slots I've got left are currently a 15, a 12, a 9, a 6, and a 30. Did I?
I don't know what that means, and I'm bad with numbers. You're asking the wrong person.
30 means just that's the size of his field that he has. He has all the other ones sorted out. He just wants to know what he puts in the really big field.
Yeah, like
Sun-
what do I mean?
Sunflowers.
Well, it's sunflowers. To be fair, they yield more seeds at harvest, so that means that it's a renewable thing. You don't have to buy things again. If there's anything else that also has multiple harvests,
Well, cranberries mature after 7 days and continue to produce.
yeah.
And
So
I'm pretty
they're
sure they're
slightly
pretty
bigger.
valuable because they are literally the most expensive crop here.
Can
Then
you
go
even
for it.
afford? Can you even afford 30?
What is
probably
240
just
by
about.
30?
Yeah, you can just about afford it. I think that's 7,200.
Did you just do that in your head? Holy shit.
Yeah, give me a moment. I want to know if I'm right.
And then I'd have to.
Yes.
Then
shit,
I
dude.
might be able to pick up some stuff for the other slots. Maybe. How much is Amaranth? Amaranth is 70. I like Amaranth. 70 by. You know what? Let's just. You know what? Cranberries, I think, is a good investment. So.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry, Arson. Like, sunflowers are nice too, but
No, that's fine. I get it. I absolutely. It was just my mother 3 bias. Don't worry about it. But I will say this. On the topic of Pokemon, one thing that I do really like. God, Soup just messaged me about the fucking Johnny Test reboot. That's what I needed right now. Thanks, Soup.
There's a what?
I don't
Yeah,
even know what that is.
yeah, Iris. Just ignore it. Maybe if we don't look at it, it'll go away.
All right, just hold on. I just need to. Okay, memory of that is erased. Go on.
Okay, Pokemon.
Hey, Iris, there's a
shut
giant test.
Shut up! Shut up! Don't you dare! Shut up! Pokemon. We're talking about Pokemon now. Shut up.
What do you mean, Cod? I am just sitting here eating my pumpkins. Pumpkins. All right, go on.
Okay. Anyways, one thing I do really enjoy about Pokemon, and one thing that I love that they've been doing recently with Pokemon is the type of realism that I enjoy, because we're sort of on the topic of suspension of disbelief and like realism. And one thing I like that what Pokemon does, and that's doing more recently, is exploring the concepts of how its world works on an individual basis, and I love that. Because a lot of the times in early Pokemon, they explored the concepts on a bigger scale because it was a newer series, and explaining the concept of how you put little monsters in tiny little baseballs and have them fight competitively was a big new thing, and people thought it had something to do with Satan. But
They always think it has something to do with Satan. It's nothing
No.
new.
it's honestly giving him a little bit too much credit, to be honest. But point being, one thing that I love that recent Pokemon has been doing, and that I hope they continue to do, is more of the individual basis on how these things work from person to person. It's why I like Alola as much of a setting, because
I love Alola.
It's because
I haven't
not only
played that one yet, but I'll get to it.
But also, the anime is great.
I need to watch the anime.
The Sun and Moon anime, I watched a few episodes of it, and it's like, oh man, this is so much better than it used to be.
No, yeah, I need to watch it. But point being, the reason I love Alola as a setting so much, not only is it just wonderfully aesthetically pleasing, is that because of the fact that it's such a small island town, you almost feel like more connected with all the individual people. And not to mention, can I just say, from a story standpoint, on the surface, Team Skull is goofy and dumb, and I love them. But when you think about it more from an individual basis, I want to adopt them. Where are your parents?
Yeah, no, Team Skull is really good. I just this past week I was playing Pokemon X with Chris, and I'm like, wow, this team is fucking terrible. I hate it.
Was that N's team?
It was Flare.
No, it's Flare.
Okay.
Plasma wasn't that bad, IMO. Flare is like aggressively bad. It's like they want you to know how bad it is.
Why are you crying? Pokemon.
There's that, and also the first line one of them tells you is, "We want to create a world in which only we are happy." I'm like, oh god, no.
Oh god,
please.
capitalism.
Well, cause see, here's the thing, actually, Cod. Here's what I'll give you: my suspension of disbelief for Pokemon typically is only ruined by what ruins it for me is that some of the time the bad guys are goofy and don't make any sense, but that's okay. It's Pokemon. It's goofy. But other times, namely like 3 off the top of my head, they've been like, this is so stupid that like even in Pokemon I don't buy this shit.
Are you telling me that you wouldn't want to flood the entire world so Pokemon have habitats?
Well, and then there's Galactic, where they're like, we want a renewable source of energy. A new universe.
One of my favorite Pokemon comics will always be, it's like May and Max, and the entire world is flooded, and Max is like, this isn't what I wanted at all. May, what you think was going to happen? In his head, it's just like ocean world, and just there's a bunch of like Kyogres, and everything's sunshine and rainbows. And I love that interpretation of Max being an idiot. I love that.
Well, oh no, they are completely idiots. But yeah, anyway, all I was trying to say is that sometimes the teams are good. Sometimes. Oh no.
Yeah. I personally think that Team Skull is probably my favorite Pokemon team, not only in the fact that they keep up the Pokemon theme of like being absolutely ridiculous and cheesy, but it's also one of those few things in Pokemon where if you think about it a little bit too much, it's not that it's like hyper grim and like, oh, this is like terrible, but it's just like, it's kind of like slightly sad because how do I explain it? It's like
they're like the outcasts of society, right?
The entire idea behind Team Skull is that they're comprised of people who didn't want to finish the island challenge, and like the fact that that's even a stigma is like terrible. Like, so what if somebody didn't finish the island challenge?
Well, it's it's easily equatable to like people that like institutionalized poverty and other things like that. Plus, like, it also works better because they are the fake bad guys, from what I know. They're not even the real bad guys.
Exactly. That's I love Team Skull so much because not only does it just work within Pokemon, but it's also just a good analogy, and also they deserve better.
Also, let's be frank, they also have some of the best gimmicks. And one of my favorite visual gimmicks in it is you're facing 2 guys, 2 grunts, just 2 normal-ass grunts, and you fight them and you beat them up, in the usual way. They come back later and they say, hey, do you remember us? And you can say yeah or no. And if you say no, they shrug and say, oh, I get it. They swap places. You didn't because I read the wrong order.
I love that. That's such a good joke.
Like, that is fucking fantastic.
And Guzma in general is just a gift.
Oh, no, yeah, guys. You want to see me eat this dirt?
I think my favorite one is, I don't want to talk about shit on nothing if it ain't a deep sea isopod.
That's just a big mood, let's be real.
Oh god, one of my favorite posts. It was like it didn't even have anything to do with Pokemon. It's like new aesthetic, dumb goth, absolute brickhead. Doesn't do it because they're edgy, but because they think the color black looks cool. And then somebody posted an image of Kazuma.
God, it's so
yeah.
good.
That's me, Arson, that you just described.
I want to talk about shit on nothing if it ain't a deep sea isopod. Oh, it's so good.
Is that how you imagine him sounding?
It's a specific voice that someone did for him.
Also,
Okay, fair enough.
Arson, I don't know how much you've seen of the Sun and Moon anime.
Only I haven't watched any of it, but I've seen it on my dashboard. I know enough.
Oh man, I love the fact that, like, it's when, I don't quite know if this exact thing happens in the game, it might be just paraphrased or something, but, like, I know that Lusamine just actually loses her mind and turns into a Final Fantasy villain at one point. And her daughter, Lily, in the anime is like, hold on, Ash, I need to go say something to my mom. And she, like, goes up to her, and it's all slow and suspenseful. And it's, like, the obvious scene where, like, she pleads to her mom, like, come back to the good side kind of thing, right? Except she goes up to her and says, Mom, I hate you. It's like, oh, fuck!
I've seen that specific scene isolated, because, like, I know about the Sun and Moon story already, so I knew that was going to happen. But just like, oh, that's so fucking good!
I'm like, fuck yes, Pokemon, that's awesome.
Hey, real talk, I love Lily.
Lily's great.
Lily's great, are you kidding me? Lily's awesome.
I enjoy every incarnation of Lily so far.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love there's an episode in the anime where they're going fishing for Pokemon, and Lily's like, I want to come, and they're like, are you sure, Lily? Like, we're gonna be, near Pokemon and stuff. And she's like, yeah, I have a plan. And then she shows up in a hazmat suit with a fishing pole. And I'm like, oh my god, you precious being.
I genuinely, like, one of the reasons I love Sun and Moon a lot is because, I'll be real, from a gameplay standpoint, Pokemon has never done anything for me. I've tried on 5 separate occasions to be like, I'm gonna play and finish a Pokemon game. I never have. The gameplay just absolutely does nothing for me. But okay. I love the universe of Pokemon so goddamn much. I love Team Rocket, I love Dawn, I love all the different creatures that exist within this world. I love just how it works and how, like, it'd be fair to say that Pokemon is solar punk, right? That would be a fair statement to say,
I don't know
Pokemon solar punk?
What that is.
Well, it's solar punk adjacent at the very least.
Let me look that up now.
It's sort of like the opposite of cyberpunk, where it's like humanity has developed in a way that they're sort of connected with nature as opposed to, like, technology.
I actually think that some places definitely.
It's adjacent because I see solar punk as specifically to do with solar energy. But the basis of that of, like, renewable resources being the main thing, and being in touch with nature. Yeah, I feel it as being adjacent. I wouldn't say it's straight up solar punk.
It kind of wears it in the background a little bit.
No, yeah, but like the fact that it's solar punk adjacent.
People were always like, "Oh no, go on."
In terms of the whole connected to nature thing, I feel that's very much connected. But yeah, I don't think they've ever said, yeah, we stopped using fossil fuels. Although, I can imagine someone saying that because those fossils were once Pokemon, and because of our ability to revive them, to bring them back from the fucking dead, we can't use them as fuel.
I
imagine that would be a legitimate.
There are some areas. There's some areas in the game like.
That's my team.
I think there are some areas in the game that still do, but others definitely have the kind of like, oh look, a field of those, pretty, wind farms and stuff kind of aesthetic going for it too.
No, but like
it's very nice.
Like I am absolutely in love with the setting and how it presents itself, and like part of me really wishes, like, it's part of the reason why me and Cod have been talking about this. Hopefully one day I'm involved in, like, a Pokemon TTRPG or some point, because I'd love to just explore that world from the point of view that everybody else has for so long, because I've never been able to get fully invested because of the fact that I can't stand turn-based combat.
That is understandable. I'm glad that you can at least enjoy the sort of aesthetic of it.
It's so
Yeah.
absolutely wonderful.
Now, have you ever played any of the Ranger games?
I have friends who have. I haven't.
I haven't. I know for a fact that Soup loves Pokemon Ranger. I have played Mystery Dungeon, though, and I do love that.
Oh
Okay,
man,
just-
don't tell me. I'm
because
going to eventually, but...
I've tried Mystery Dungeon, it's not my style. I haven't played Ranger either, but it's just one of those where you're saying you don't like the style, but you like the world, and I was thinking that's as close as I can come up with currently.
Mhm. That being said, I still can, like, even if it's not purely from the standpoint that everybody else enjoys Pokemon, there definitely are aspects of it that I do have at my fingertips. Like, I believe I've told Iris about Nurse Joan before, and I've rambled about
Yes. It's very good.
her. No, yeah, and then...
I have many Pokemon OCs as well. Don't worry.
I only have the one. I only have Nurse Joan, but I like her a lot. For the record, for chat, just as a short explanation of her, Nurse Joan is the Nurse Joy character that I've created that I might play at some point. Her 3 Pokemon are a Audino, a Clefairy, and a Houndoom she uses to light her cigarette.
It's very good. Actually, to kind of maybe... I had an idea to maybe kind of tie this conversation into the previous one with, like, different genres and TTRPGs and whatever. Like, do you guys have any other things where it's like you aren't super into it for whatever reason because of the game mechanics or the style or whatever? This can be any form of medium, but like the style in the world is something that hasn't been done too often, and you want to see something else try to do it in a different way. Because those kinds of conversations are fun, because it's like it's something that, like, you know, you want to take the thing that it's built on, scrape it off, and then build something else there. You know, that kind of thing.
You know what's a perfect example of that? Rule of Rose.
Oh yeah, I've like seen stuff for Rule of Rose, but I don't actually really know what it is exactly.
Rule of Rose has a fantastic story. Its gameplay is absolutely abhorrent.
Every time I've tried to watch a Let's Play, I just get annoyed because fuck everyone in that goddamn place. They hung up a dog.
It's not a very it's a very
It's
a
like
very
weird,
grim
evil little rich kids or something. Like
Also, stupid adults who don't know how to. Look, if I get talking about this, I will go into a blind rage.
No, yeah, I definitely can get the vibe that Rule of Rose wouldn't be something COD would enjoy. That being said, detached from that, I do think Rule of Rose's story is really good. It's just its gameplay is bad.
Probably.
okay.
One scenario or setting that I want to get into is I love the concept of one of the many reasons why I love Final Fantasy is just the fact that you get an airship after a while. The level of freedom you have with that kind of thing. I would love some kind of open world game, or I'd love to get into a
that'd be so
TTRPG
wonderful.
like Upwind or something like that. Where
I was gonna say Upwind. Upwind is really good, or
Skies of Arcadia. I've heard of that. I haven't tried it.
Yeah, I
probably
want to
should.
try Skies of Arcadia. Yeah.
Considering what I've just said, it could be literally just, oh my god, this is my dream game.
I'll say this: I did a bunch of Skies of Arcadia streams with Rabbit a few, I think a year at this point back, and it was a very good game. It was like the epitome of like the Sky Pirate aesthetic, and absolutely like lives up to that vibe of like, if you like Wind Waker in the way that you explore the ocean, but just in the sky and a little bit more depth to it, Skies of Arcadia would probably be your favorite game of all time, not gonna lie.
Okay, let me see where this is available.
Not to mention, if you like Lily, then one of the 3 main party members of Skies of Arcadia, you'll absolutely fall in love with her. I forget her name, but
Is it on Steam? She said tentatively. I know Trails in the Sky is, but I don't know if Skies
Trails
of
in the Sky
Arcadia
is
is.
a great game. If you ever play Trails in the Sky, talk to the chests a second time.
Yeah, I saw Jay talking about that on Twitter for sure.
I just fucking love it. It's the best. One of my
That's
favorites
wonderful.
is, I knew you'd come back! But yes, from what I can see, Skies of Arcadia is on Dreamcast and GameCube.
yes.
Oh
So
dear.
We're going to... if I do that, I'm going to need to go ROM or something like that.
Which is fair.
I do know it's one that people have been like, please port it to the Wii and then Wii U and now Switch.
There is. Here's the thing. There are rumors that it may get a Switch re-release, and don't take my word for it that might happen, but it might happen.
It could. That'd be cool. I don't have a Switch either, but oh well.
I do own a Switch because I'm an idiot who has to own every modern console.
I mean, they did like that Final Fantasy remake and then the fucking Secret of Mana remake. So who knows?
Did.
But yeah, I'll definitely check that out because, as I said, that is I appreciate. I'm not huge on pure steampunk, but the concept of just a bunch of random idiots who own an airship inexplicably and go around having dumb adventures is so damn good to me.
I think
Yes.
I'll call it now. I think you're gonna fall in love with Skies of Arcadia, and I definitely think you should look into Upwind a little bit.
Yeah, I actually backed Upwind and I own the PDF, like the
Ooh.
final version. The problem is that I'm bad at reading through those some of the time, because there is a lot of lore stuff. I need to do so. I need to sit down and tell myself to do it because from what I've seen, it's a good game.
I ran Upwind once, and it went over super well, and I threw out most of the lore that it came with, because there's one thing I don't like. I don't like using the lore that they give me in the book. I like coming up with my own.
Yeah.
But Upwind is a very solid system, and I had a very fun time with it. And it was also one of the first few games that I ever ran that actually resulted in limb dismemberment,
Oh. Oh
which
no.
was fun. It was one of the first few times where I played a game that didn't pull any punches, and me and the players had a very good time.
Nice.
So yeah, I would also love to try Upwind someday. But Savvy, you haven't said much in a while. Do you have any ideas for the prompt I offered?
Honestly, I'm really not too sure.
Just think of like, I mean, it doesn't have to be something you didn't like. Just think of something where it's like, man, I want to take something it did and expand on it. You know, anything like that. This could be good inspiration fuel for our viewers, as well as ourselves.
Being put on the spot. Oh!
I'm sorry.
No, actually, I have thought of something, or specifically a system which I really, on the surface, I really liked, but I feel like could have been handled a lot better. Have you ever heard of Mechton Zeta?
No, but it sounds like a mech game.
It is a mech game.
Of which there are several, yes.
It is indeed a mech game. The whole deal with it is that it's got a mech creation system, and to give
hell yeah!
And my God, it's so in depth. It's so good, but it's so it's so much to keep track of. Put it this way.
Those are games that I get the impression that those are games where you have so much control that you have too much control.
Yeah.
You have to keep track of everything.
You know what, actually? Actually, you know what? Give me a quick second. I actually am very keen on showing you what I did for this.
Oh, please do.
Oh, nice.
I was just gonna quickly say too, like, I like things that are fairly simple, but also very customizable. That's why I like a lot of stuff Necronica does quite a lot.
Where is it?
And Anime Campaign as well.
Yeah, I appreciate anything that has a good customization system.
Oh,
When I
hell
was
yes,
younger,
hell yes.
I'm not a huge fan of most driving games outside of the Burnout series because I love crashing into things and making them, fly. But one game that I did love because the amount of customization you could do was utterly batshit insane was Midnight Club 3 DUB edition, where literally you could do everything from to entirely custom paint job to giving your car hydraulics for no fucking reason.
All right, I'm gonna make a copy of
Awesome.
this. I'm gonna make a copy of this so that people can play around with it, and I won't have to care about people messing it up. Okay, copy of document. There we go. And it's called copy. Lovely. Right. I'm going to link this in chat as well, by the way, and I'm going to have a quick conversation about it. So, if anyone... hold on. Let me get the link first. Okay. Yeah. Can edit. Copy link. I'll pop it into Silent Voices, and then I'll pop it in chat as well. Here we go. That is something I spent I'm not fucking with you. I'm not talking like, oh, I spent 2 hours each day. I mean a whole weekend. An entire weekend making this. I got so obsessed with this game and so obsessed with its mech creation system that I created a spreadsheet that was integrated and allowed you to just make mechs with drop-down boxes.
Oh, wow. Holy shit, Sav.
And if you look at it...
Oh, the font choice.
If you look at it, you'll notice you can pick the parts of your mech, the armor on each part, how heavy the part is, how heavy the armor on that part is, what parts you have in the first place, what weapons are mounted or held on various parts, where your jet boosters or levitation systems are, whether you have wheels, where your cockpit is, how many cockpits you have, whether certain parts of your mech are detachable, whether you have a fly speed, how fast your fly speed is, depending on your cost, your weight, and exactly how much your thing weighs in the first place. How much is your flight gonna cost, depending on your weight? It is all there. All of it.
So, Savvy,
all of it.
Would you say that this is a good starter game?
No. This spreadsheet is a microcosm of what my hyper-focusing is capable of.
Yeah, you are really impressive in that way. Holy shit.
It is kind of fucking ridiculous in that way. So, like, I didn't even finish this. This didn't even get as far as I wanted it to get. What I wanted to integrate, I think I had a to-do list somewhere on this thing, actually, now that I think about it. Let me look at it. Let me look it up. Yeah, on Live Mech for Combat. So I made a second part to the sheet, which was called Live Mech for Combat at the bottom, which was the stuff that you actually need to keep track of. Because, now, let me explain. So you make your mech, right?
So you take the moon.
You take the moon. No, so... Your mech is made out of... Each part of your mech has two discrete points that can be damaged. The actual integrity of the frame itself, and then the armor that's on top of it. The armor reduces damage by a flat amount, but every time you take damage to that location, your armor is reduced by 1.
Okay.
So
makes sense to me. So
yeah, so if you have a 10, so let's say you have frame which has got 10 HP, and you have a piece of armor that gives you 5 armor on there. If you took 6 damage, you would only actually take 1 damage to your frame. But your armor would then become worth 4 rather than 5. So you can get hit.
Okay.
You can
so
get
it
hit.
degrades as well.
Yeah, exactly. And so you can theoretically, any mech can theoretically take down any other mech with enough fire. So you can take down the heaviest armored mech out there with your 1 damage weapon if you just fucking focus fire one part of the mech for like 30 turns.
Yeah, I assume that the 10
Wow.
was was it a true real value or not? Because one of the things is that I'm thinking on that, if you were to do 6 each turn and each time the armor ticked down, it would be dead in
Yeah.
3
So
turns?
yeah, if you had 10 frame health and 5 armor health, if you took 6 damage 5 times, your frame wouldn't take 1 damage 5 times. It would take 1 damage, then 2 damage, then 3 damage, then 4
3.
damage, then 5
Oh,
damage.
no.
Because your armor
I
goes
didn't
down.
think this was what we would be doing during our Stardew stream.
Yeah, and then there's the
Well-
pilot sheet, and the pilot sheet is the stats for your actual pilot, because then depending on your pilot's stats, you have different amounts of maneuverability for your mech depending on how heavy it is.
Yeah, I
Hey.
actually thought you were going to say that depending on your pilot's weight, and I was thinking, how fucking micro is this?
Hey, Savvy, I do hope you interpret this in the right way, but this game looks really cool, and I hate it.
Yeah, and that's why that game. That's why I brought up this game, is that it is definitively like. I love the system so much, but my god, if they could streamline it just a little bit, but keep like a degree of the customization that is really satisfying, to be honest. Like, it is so fucking fun to make your own mech. Then if they could simplify it so that it was actually playable afterwards, then I'd be down for that. Honestly, if this was a video game, it would be really fucking solid, but it's not. It's a tabletop RPG.
Yeah, like, that level of customization, really cool, but like, it's like, it's just like how building a really enormous heavy metal building is pretty cool until it sinks into the ground and explodes. Like, I could never handle doing something like that. Like, oh my lord.
Yeah. No,
God bless anybody that could, I guess. But
But
boy.
like, for example, for like the kind of fucking ridiculous concepts you could come up with and then actually make, I went into it and I was like, all right, what can I make with this? I'm just gonna come up with an idea. I want a mech that has like all the missiles, just too many missiles, all of them. And I managed to fill it up with enough missiles that I think it had 820.
Oh, God.
I think.
How many
It was
could you
either that
fire
or like
off?
300, I forget.
How many could you fire at once? This is the important thing.
Theoretically, all of them.
Oh, yes!
I think it might have been 300 though, because there was different ways you could fire missile racks. Missile racks can be fired either with 1 missile at a time, which only do a little bit of damage, or 1 sec. Yeah. Oh, 1 second. Sorry, I've apparently food's happening, but I'll finish what I'm saying.
Nice.
Missile racks can be fired either with 1 individual missile at a time, or you can fire you can basically do salvo fire, which is you pick a you can fire like an entire rack, and then rather than doing each one's damage, depending on the degree of success with which you fired them, then groups of 5 or something will hit the opposing mech. So you'll fire like 100, but only like 20 will hit, but that's still 20 missiles hitting you.
Yes, that's still a
What
lot of
the
missiles.
fuck?
The idea being you
Well-
literally run up to someone and just being like, you can't avoid all of these.
Yeah.
On average, you're gonna die.
But the downside to
like-
missile racks was that if somebody hit you with certain types of weapon in the right
You'd explode.
location, you exploded.
Of course!
It's like the part of an anime where he's like, you can't dodge if there's nowhere to dodge.
I will be right back. I'm just gonna go grab my plate of food.
Alright.
I
Hey
actually
chat, how
prefer-
you doing?
I will say that this system must be really accurate in the fact that it makes you feel like you're trying to work with this extremely complicated piece of machinery.
Yeah, I have to learn how to drive a real mech to play this game.
There are games like that. I am kind of a nerd for some super complicated things. And I know that there is a game where you can actually get... It's pretty much a simulation of a mech to a ridiculous extent. Let me see if I can find it.
Well, I mean, all I'm gonna say to a game like this is just for me personally as a player, and also dumb bitch, I prefer systems more like Anime Campaign or other things where it's like very rules light customization, where it's basically like, you know, yeah, the mechanics aren't very crunchy, but you can apply whatever theme you want to them and it will work pretty much fine. You know, it works with very simple little, you know, you just have to make very simple tweaks. I like that more than I do like the mechanics are here
I'm
to
going to
support
actually
every
post-
single thing, but you have to keep track of all of that.
I'm actually going to post something in Silent Voices. There is a game called Steel Battalion for the original.
Oh yeah, I've heard of
Xbox.
that. Yeah.
And yeah, you have the opportunity, if you get, you know, the perfect version, of having the full goddamn console in front of you.
Oh my god,
And
that's crazy.
yeah, and there's a part of me that says, yeah, that's far too complicated. And there's another part of me that says, but I could learn how to be a fucking mech pilot.
No. Don't get me wrong. That's super cool. I'm just saying that in general, I prefer
Simple, and
simpler
that is
things.
completely
I'm not
fair.
saying complexity is inherently bad. I'm just saying that game, I'm gonna be like awesome from the sidelines.
Yeah, and
Personally.
that's the best way to do it, because I understand, and like you're right that complexity
Back.
isn't everything. Hey there, what's the
Also-
food?
Meat sauce, which I would normally have a pasta, but I'm just having with some bread. Also, I just remembered I might actually still have the mech sheet for that missile mech, which I called the Hornet.
You should have called it the Hive.
No, you're right. It's totally right. It was called the Hive. It was called
you fucking kidding?
H1V3.
That's amazing.
How did I, motherfucker? I hate it when I get things right.
Yeah, you did absolutely get that right.
Because Hornet implies one, Hive implies the swarm.
Where are you?
The bee mech! It shoots bees!
You wish it shooted bees.
Just try
Shot.
to dodge these bees.
You can't dodge if there are thousands of bees in space.
What do you do? Are you releasing smoke? That's not fair. Stop that.
Or was it my original sheet? It might just be the one I tested with, actually, now that I think about it. Maybe not. No, it was not, unfortunately. I have the notes somewhere. I want to find that again to see how many I did manage to fucking shove into that thing, because there was actually an actually disgusting amount of missiles inside of that thing.
Guys, they can't get the first turn. If they get the first turn and they shoot at me, we're all gonna die.
VNS,
Oh god.
Gundam Soldier, standard melee. No, I made various ones, but I did not end up saving the H1V3 by the looks of things.
That's it. That is an
Yeah.
actual shame.
But like
Dang, dude.
it was a fun one as well, because what I'd done is I'd given it like a standard humanoid layout, but then I did a pod on it. So a pod is just like a storage thing, and the pod was on its torso, and it looked like a big like bee stinger, and then I had two extra limbs on its back which folded out to have missile racks on them.
That is a pretty good way of doing it. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool.
But yeah, no. So yeah, absolutely, fucking just insane. I would recommend that if anybody wants to look at its creation system, because it is honestly fucking so much fun if you're into it. Go look up Mechton Zeta. It's a good read. And secondarily as well, fun fact about my weekend learning, my weekend doing that sheet. I genuinely gave myself a marketable skill for the workplace by doing that, because I learnt several complex Excel functions to do that. So,
Yeah, I noticed you actually
Nice.
made a fully functional goddamn macro sheet.
yeah. So it's because it's all integrated. So I legitimately have on my CV now I'm capable of creating integrated, like self-updating Excel spreadsheets.
Wow.
Never underestimate hobbies, guys.
Yeah, especially when you go.
You just
tiny
attach
bit
this
nuts or
mech
something.
sheet to your resume.
I don't understand it, but you're hired.
Well, anyway, yeah, that's really cool, you know, and there are definitely a variety of mech games out there that I haven't really gotten a chance to check out due to mainly time, but I definitely want to go through them sometime. Mech things in general, just I've never gotten attached to as much, but I want to change that at some point.
Mechs can be good, but as you can see, I'd say that there's a lot of them that have a huge amount of complexity because you are dealing with giant robots.
It's just their sort of deal, yeah.
Yeah, I know that there is one called the Pin at the Poles, which is meant to kind of simulate things like Evangelion, because it's as much about the mechs as it is about the mental and physical strain on the pilots.
Yeah,
Like, literally,
that
they're
tends to be
losing-
I think Tears
Yeah.
of the Machine is another one like that as well.
Maybe I'm getting that wrong. Maybe it's Tears of the Machine that I'm thinking of. It's the
There's
one that
also-
Bill played.
Oh, the one that Third Wheel played? Oh yeah, it was something like that. Definitely kind of an Evangelion-esque system.
Yeah, that was Tears of the Machine, if I'm not mistaken.
Tears of the
Okay,
Machine.
yep. Thanks for that.
I've heard of, there are a few other ones I've heard of. There's, what's the one that I saw recently? I actually have a file for it. Let me find it super quick so I can plug it for them. Oh yeah, Songs for the Dusk is kind of a, mech combined with civilization building game, which is really interesting. There's one called Laser Beams Like Shooting Stars, which is also kind of about like mech battles, but also like the trauma associated with them. It's really cool.
I'm gonna have a quick munch because I've not actually taken any of this yet. So bear with me one moment.
No, you haven't.
Savvy, do you mind if I post that spreadsheet link to the Discord? Because apparently there's a person who wants to show their friends.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
by
that's
all
what-
means, feel free. Now,
Okay.
I will warn, you might want to get a copy of that real quick before people start fucking with it too much. Alternatively, if you need a fresh copy, let me know. I'm more than happy to provide one discreetly so that no one else fucks with it before you have a chance to copy it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. It is now in general. Please don't be assholes.
But
Yeah, make copies of it. Don't. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was really surprised at myself when I got that, but like I was literally sitting at work at one point after discovering Mechton Zeta, and I was like saying to myself, just constantly, I was like, I need to make a fucking spreadsheet of this. And I would get home and be like, I have to do this. And I started setting up. And on the weekend, it was like feverish. I was just there for hours looking up formulas, testing formulas, putting it all together, making
Building
it
a
aesthetically brilliant.
real ass mech.
Yeah, like it was
As
crazy.
opposed to-
Savvy just like wakes up. There's like a giant mech outside his house, and he's like, "Wait, what was I doing?
Oh God, what did I drink last night?
What did I do last night?"
Let me tell you about Pepe Sylvia. I gotta tell you about Pepe.
What?
Nobody gets that joke. Never mind. I'll be in
No,
the
sorry.
Oh nope,
I'm
sorry. Do you guys want to hear about my personal thing that I want to take and mess with a little bit?
I mean, yeah, sure. You're the person who initiated the conversation.
Yeah. So part of this idea, Arson, will remind you of a specific aspect of Rhapsody of Blood.
Ooh, go for it.
The reason for that is because like I've been thinking about this idea, and I don't really know. I don't have a system for it exactly. I don't know if it would just be D&D or something else. I don't know. But like, essentially, I always grapple with these two desires of like, you know, I'm goth. I love the fucking goth ass aesthetic of Victorian era cathedrals and bloodborne ass shit and stuff like that.
Hell
But at
yeah.
the same time, like I've said before, I really want to get away from that a little bit and expand to different regions that are like that stand on their own as their own thing, like, you know, that take inspiration from cultures that were not just, you know, white ass Europe, you know. So
Piers!
oh,
Why closed on Wednesdays?
Let me in!
Let me
But-
in. Also, hey Sib.
oh yeah, hey
Yeah,
Civ.
hey, Civ, how are you?
Sorry, I got distracted for a second by Savvy's flailing, but I was gonna say, I really like. So I've been wondering, like, man, is there any way to combine those things? Because like I don't want to just do a medieval Europe thing again. And this is all hypothetical, obviously. I have no idea when I'll have time to do anything like this, but I'd love to in the future. But then Rhapsody of Blood gave me the final seed of inspiration, because Rhapsody of Blood employs the idea of Dracula's castle as this sort of eldritch corrupting force, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I'm like, ooh, I have an idea. So here's my idea, right? And I love Bloodborne and Dark Souls and all that, don't get me wrong. But again, I want to see some more variety. I want to kind of take that aesthetic and apply it to other things. So what I've been thinking is I really want to do a setting that certainly I wouldn't really call it a utopian like solar punk or whatever it was type thing, but it's like this very nice you know, fantastical society that isn't, you know, Tolkienian exactly, but you know, something like that. I haven't fleshed it out at all. I want to take something nice like that with like beautiful islands and picturesque countryside, and you know, adventuring that's kind of in the vein maybe of like Golden Sky Stories, or like oh god, what was the other one? What's the one that? What?
Ryutama?
Yeah, that's it, Ryutama. You know, kind of like Ghibli aesthetic, where adventurers aren't all just, you know, straight white dudes. Because again, here I am. I don't, you know, I want to get away from that. It just, of course, my personal experience. My dude, that's just Windrose. Yeah, you're probably right. I actually need to watch that show.
I
want to do that.
Honestly, yeah. No, you need to watch
I
it.
need to. No, I know. But I want to take stuff like that, right? And then add into the mix the idea that basically a long time ago in this setting, there was what I'll tentatively call like asshole imperialist goth kingdom, which is just Bloodborne, right? So asshole imperialist goth kingdom was ruled by this crazy evil sorceress who, you know, was just super warmongery and terrible, and everybody else, like, she's in the wrong setting because everybody else is just like, dude, calm the fuck down.
I'm down.
And
I just
eventually-
wanted to go over to badminton. What the fuck?
And eventually this kingdom got so fucking crazy in terms of its magical advancements and tapping into like the power of like the Earth's core, which is tied to like reality itself and all this, that essentially the kingdom just destroyed itself. Like it completely like the idea of like if you know about Ace Combat, where like the basically the Nazis of that game nuke themselves rather than lose the war, kind of thing.
I don't know much about Ace Combat, except I know that their latest iteration had a JPEG dog.
JPEG dog.
JPEG
Yeah, that
dog.
was
The greatest thing ever.
That was fucking hilarious. You're right.
Fucking JPEG.
But anyway, basically take that idea, and then everybody was like, phew, they're gone. Except that now the evil kingdom exists on this metaphysical, like, in a metaphysical curse way. And basically, like, parts of this fantasy world, here and there, get basically, like, start to get corrupted, and just, like, gothic shit starts showing up, and Victorian shit starts showing up, and all the adventurers are, like basically the tone of the story is getting corrupted. Like, I've always wanted to do something like that, because as much as I love Bloodborne, it's, you know, not doing anything groundbreaking with its setting, but also B, like, it's all so dark that there's no contrast, and I really love creating strong contrast.
It's unapologetic. It's just fucking darkness, which is great in its own way.
I definitely do really like that concept because it literally brings about the idea where, like, in stuff like Castlevania or Bloodborne, these things are seen as, like, corrupting forces, but everything's already corrupted, so you can't understand
Yeah.
it fully.
Yeah, because, yeah, again, I love that, you know, Dark Souls, Bloodborne aesthetic. Again, goth shit, that's just me. That's me, alright? But, yeah, I've always wanted to do something like that.
Goodbye,
Based on
Frog.
kind of the Rhapsody of Blood idea. Oh, what do you say, Cod? I think you got cut off.
No, I was just saying goodbye, Frog, because the Savvy just slashed a thing which had a frog in it.
It was a cute
It's not
frog, okay?
important. Go ahead.
It was a cute frog.
Sorry for.
I think that was the end of the point anyway. Don't worry about it.
Oh, good. Because I was just afraid. Oh God, how derailing was that?
It's okay. Thank you, Barak, for your kind words. Yes, it is. The idea is metal and totally not symbolic of colonialism or anything.
Yeah, but it's still it is a good concept. Just as though something is wrong and you want to try to set it right again. It's nice because it's being expressed in a very different way than normal, I guess.
Yeah, well, and what's also cool is I saw a tweet just the other day, or I think it was even just yesterday, of this lady saying, like, if you want to be really actually realistic about the idea of, like, adventuring in a D&D setting or in a different setting, it's really the people who would be the most outcast by the system who would want to adventure outside the system. So
Yeah.
really, LGBT people should be way more prevalent than straight white dudes, and that's the kind of thing I would want to aim for too. With that is the idea that, like, you know, this system is like eroding the world in this region, and it's up to the, you know, the scrappy no-name assholes to fix it. You know,
Yeah, I
like, to
feel
me
that.
it's a similar idea to D&D, obviously, but a different
I-
sort of flavor.
I guess it depends, because you're completely correct that in normal times, the scrappy underdog outcasts would be the people who go out, because there's no reason for
Oh,
the dominant, the straight white males, or whatever, however you want to say it, there's no reason for them to leave because they are in control. But
Yeah.
I could imagine
They
that
have careers.
they have careers, they have reasons to not go out. Whereas, what are you going to lose if you decide I'm going to go off and adventure? You have nothing.
Oh yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
have
yeah.
everything to gain, nothing to lose. Uh, but if there's something specifically trying to screw over the world, generally speaking, the straight white men, especially because of the fact that, oh, you're trying to change the status quo, fuck that, they probably
Yeah.
do try to do something. So you could even say that uh, you could do something about how they're trying to catch up with the scrappy people. Because
Yeah,
you guys
yeah.
were there already when shit went down, and now you look behind and say, huh, is that a group of armed guards coming after us? Because
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
they are just arriving when you are actually there already. They only
Yeah, yeah.
realize, wait,
They-
this is bad.
Yeah, they come after this group of like, you know, outcast like tieflings or goblins or whatever, and they're actually just like, listen, we need your help. Like, yeah, and again, that comment, to be clear, is not saying like never do that, like never play, like
Yeah,
never
no.
play, or I'm sorry, always play a minority. It's more aimed at the people who are saying like, ugh, why are all these diversities unrealistic? It's like, shut the fuck. Shut
Yeah,
the
and I
fuck
guess
up.
that's one reason
so
why
dumb.
quite often OCs would have bad backgrounds. Like, sorry, when I say bad is the wrong word. Sorry, as in their backgrounds that there's no reason for them to stay in their comfortable life. It's not that they have
Yeah,
a good
oh yeah.
background; they have a reason to leave because shit went down, and
Oh
the
yeah,
only
yeah, yeah.
alternative is to actually go out into the world. I
Yeah, it's an easy way to get it to make sense, yeah.
Yeah, and it's something that I've always felt there's too many like super dark uh, backstories to OCs, but at the same time it makes sense because again,
Why would you leave if you
if
weren't uprooted by tragedy?
yeah,
Yeah.
if things were going well, why the fuck are you going into the fucking jaws of death? You have no
Yeah,
reason.
I always like to see backstories that aren't necessarily like my whole family died and the demon inside me killed them. But but you also need to understand that like people usually make OCs like that to like deal with their own internalized stuff, you know, trying to work through it. It's like you shouldn't come down on people for doing it either,
Oh,
you know?
absolutely.
I know. I just feel that it can be overdone.
Oh, anything can be overdone, certainly.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, we can move on from that, but
Alright, got
what
me
you up
some
to, Savvy?
currently trying to get my head straight on exactly what I want to do with my farm next. I know that I want to pick up some more crops tomorrow.
Yeah.
I've got
your
two sprinklers of mid-level.
Mhm.
And I want to make a lightning rod, and I want to get a tree tapping farm, because if I can get to tree tapping, I can start consistently making kegs, and kegs are what I'm all about, because I fucking love wine and making wine, and I want to give loads of wine to Leah, so, you know.
By the way,
Why?
unfortunately, because I was hoping you would mention tapping, so I could make a thing of you're going to tap that, ain't you, Savvy, or some stupid thing like that. Never mind.
No, yeah. Anyways, also, side note, I am going to head out. It's been radical hanging out with y'all. I'm
Alright.
gonna
Yeah.
go do some other
Oh
Same
yeah,
with
dude.
things.
Catch
It's
you
good that
later.
you're feeling better, man. Yeah,
Thanks for
see ya.
coming out.
It's been fun.
Bye.
Austin's a really cool guy.
Yeah.
He sure is.
I need...
I'm sorry, cherry bomb?
Cherry bomb.
Yeah.
I was just looking at you, like looking at, oh, different types of seeds. Oh, cherry bomb. I was like, what?
Yeah, it's kind of out of place, but it's useful in its own way, especially in combat.
To like nuke the houses of rival farmers, or like,
No, as
Mines.
in the mines.
Monsters in the mines.
oh, I see.
Iris, I don't think you've noticed the aesthetic of this game yet.
I just don't know anything about it really. I know that it's I was very much kidding, but I don't.
know.
I have never actually played Stardew. I don't know what the hell is going on. I don't know how farm.
How do farm? Oh, look at my beautiful crops.
I just realized
Aw.
why Civ's here. Are you spying the competition, Civ, for your
Yeah.
memory lane streams?
We can.
Civ's
we're-
about
no,
to
we're
drop some
farming
sick
buddies.
farm knowledge on us.
Nah, we approach the middle of the square and it looks like we're gonna have some like real beef and do a rap battle, but then it's just like a wholesome battle where we're like complimenting each other's farms.
Yeah, and giving each other tips on, oh, I see that you're doing that, but if you change the pathing around a bit.
If you've seen our New Year's stream with the Jackbox rapping, then
Yeah.
you'll know what, because we did wholesome raps were actually the best.
Awesome raps are great. Savvy Civ has invited you to their stream.
Oh, I would absolutely love to when you're next doing it. Unless you're doing it right now. I don't know if you're doing it right now, but I would love to join you whenever.
In which
you
case,
so.
Stop that.
Bye, guys.
Why are you talking in our chat of your stream? No, I think they do it on Sundays often.
Saturdays at 1:30 EST. Yeah, I'm probably around. I'm more than happy to come along to join your farm endeavors.
It'd be funny if more and more of Savvy's streams, like, it's less Kingdom Death and other stuff like that, and just becomes more and more about farming.
Actually,
slowly.
Civ, why are you not in my server? Hold on.
Oh,
I'm remedying this right now.
This has been a gross oversight.
This has been a gross oversight. Invite people. Sib. Oh no, you're called Spectral
Sib.
Fusion.
Yeah.
There we go. Invite sent.
Farm Twitch.
Yay.
Farm Twitch.
Join the madness.
Bark.
They join the stream and they're like, so here's what you're doing wrong with your farm.
Well, I mean, it is an open stream. There's nothing stopping you from doing that. Although I'd be less
Everyone
appreciative
run.
of the criticism. What do I need to do next? I'd like some blackberries. No props, If. No blackberries in my cave. Guess I'm gonna go have to find some. Also, I'm gonna go buy some more crops. What am I gonna get today?
Pumpkins.
No.
Cockapokid. Hey, Savvy, your farm sucks.
Wow.
Well, that's your opinion, and you're valid to have it.
But that being said, let's see. Ban? Yeah.
Ben.
No.
I can't express how much I love this game. I think I have on multiple occasions, but you know,
it's a really good game.
I like to think I'm good at it.
It does
Despite
seem
my
very,
blunders.
very chill.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got... What do I got left? I've got a 15, a 12, and a 9 left. With 30. 15, 12, 9. I might turn that 9 into a sprinkler one, or maybe... Oh, no, wait. I changed that... Oh, that 6 is now... Okay, so that's a 9 as well. So I've got 2 9s. I've actually got 3 left in the amaranth, but I don't like planting stuff of the same type that will mature at a different rate if it's on a different block, or on the same block, rather. So we're just going to leave that for now. That's a 9 now. We've got okay, 15 and 2 9s. What are we doing? Sunflowers are part of some bundles, I know. So let's do... Yeah, let's do 9 of those. No, 8 of those it would be. Because if I'm sprinkling them, that'll be how that is. Some fairy flowers might be nice.
And you do have amaranth because I know you have a quest for them.
Yeah, I do have amaranth already, but I
Okay.
usually I have sprawling fields of amaranth because I fucking love amaranth. Maybe I'll buy
but
more
you need
amaranth.
to make the money first.
Yeah.
Then you can get the amaranth fields.
How long does amaranth take? 7 days? Yeah, that'll be matured in 3 days, and I can just make more. 15. What do I want 15 of?
You
Amaranth.
You don't really have a huge amount of money.
I don't have a huge amount of money. That's right. That's right.
So I don't think you can get 15 of anything currently.
It seems Star Platinum and Mine the World are similar types of stand. By the way, OVA Dio is my favorite voice for him.
Dio, I don't think you quite fit into the tone of Stardew Valley. I mean, do you even need to farm?
I farm bread.
So that's why you're asking how many breads have you eaten. You're checking the market.
God. Yeah, Dio's OVA powers are actually fucking great. And they are so scary in the OVA. He just fucking blips out of existence. No noise, nothing. Just silent. It's so scary. I love it. Big titty OVA
Big
Dio.
titty
Yeah,
OVA.
no, absolutely. It's so good. An oil tanker for you. A new reward? What did I get? Collect rewards. Starfruit seeds. Yeah.
Your eternal reward.
They take 13 days. It's not that long.
Can I just say, I love the fucking way that Jafar's voice actor, to be accurate, delivers that line in Aladdin. It is the funniest shit. I laugh at it every time.
It's your reward.
Your eternal reward. Like, just so menacing for no reason.
I love the he's my most trusted advisor. Cut to him in the most intimidating backlit shot ever.
Yep.
It's
Look,
so good.
the Sultan was never shown as a tower of intellect.
He literally says like I'm an excellent judge of character.
Yeah.
It's so stupid. That movie is very goofy with its plot, and I like it.
It is fun.
That's nothing but the lamp.
That was really good, actually.
Thanks.
That was actually pretty good. Yeah.
I unfortunately can't do normal human voices, but I have a good variety of non-human ones.
Wait, I have those corns. I'll have to go get it. Ladies, gentlemen, I bring you more corn.
Seriously? What's something else?
Oh, would you like pumpkins?
Anything else but that.
Yeah.
Corn it is then.
Good night.
Boop, doop, doop. I have a weird question apropos of nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Have either of you ever heard anything, or anybody in chat? Do you guys know about System Shock 2 at all?
Apparently, it's very good, but I've never.
Yeah,
played
that's like all I've heard. All I've heard is that it's good and that it has a character who's kind of like the predecessor of GLaDOS, and like I keep.
Showdown.
Yeah, what is it? Shodan?
Shodan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, all I've heard is that it's good, and I've heard that from various sources and random videos I've seen, and it's like, what is it? I have no idea.
It's a first-person shooter, like cyberpunk kind of future dystopia
You know
thing.
Deus Ex?
Yes. I also know
Specifically the first
Bioshock.
one.
It's the
But-
predecessor to Bioshock, basically.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hence
The first
Shock.
Deus Ex, yeah, I know about that. A heavy choice-driven game.
Well, it's more also things like the way you interact with the world, I think. Because I have played some of it, and it's very much a game from that era.
Isn't
which
the
isn't
whole
a bad thing.
yeah? Isn't the whole theme like you think you have control of stuff, but then the AI is like, you are not in control. Ha ha ha. I don't know.
Something
I
like
have
that.
only seen tiny snippets. I am so ignorant about what that game's about.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the main thing is that the AI has gone nuts and you're kind of stuck there. But
Yeah, I mean,
don't know the specifics.
the only reason I thought of it is because Savvy mentioned like Dio being scary in the OVA, and I'm like, that I've heard that that's another thing where it's like, man, that's actually like pretty scary the way they did it, you know. Whereas GLaDOS is more funny.
Yeah. Ooh.
Anyway.
Copper's done.
Anyway, corn.
Ladies and
Let me tell
gentlemen.
you about our corn.
A weapon to surpass corn.
Beats the hell out of coffee.
What
That is my
beats?
favorite line from Raiden ever.
Raiden has many good lines. I love his voice. It's so dumb.
It's so stupid. I love it. I love
Then
it to
Marshall's plan is ruined. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah,
Totally not
Barok.
trying to be Snake. Don't even compare me to that guy. Nope, not at all.
Yeah, Barok. Now I'm just thinking of Dead Space, which is a game as well.
Oh, I haven't done this on stream yet. On the
Psychic
subject
worms.
of Solid Snake, I came up with my own version of that dumb meme.
Oh
God
yes,
damn it,
please.
no.
Here we go.
Now, I don't know if you watch Ruby, but there's this character called Crow. And he talks like this.
Oh yes, this. Okay.
Ruby, I'm trying to sneak past, but I'm dummy thick, and the clap of my ass cheeks keeps alerting the Grim. If only I could turn into a bird or something. There we go, that's the whole thing. I just thought Crow's voice works quite well for that.
It does.
Where am I going? What am I doing? Where did I come from, Cotton Eye Joe?
You mean, where do I come from? Where do I go? Ah, fuck it.
Don't worry about it. Ruby, you don't understand what it's like to be a bird.
I get to shit anywhere I like.
I can turn into a bird at will, and I'm never trapped in its form. I always have control over it, Ruby. You have no idea what it's like to be cursed like this.
Oh man, I always love when people are like, I'm so cursed with this ability that objectively improves my existence.
Yeah, it's so bad.
Yeah, I dislike it when it's that kind of thing because I just want to be normal.
I just
Fucking
want to be
why?
normal and be able to not turn into a bird at will.
That is not how it works, I don't think.
Look, you don't have to turn into a bird. That's half the point of why it's so fucking good, you dumb shit.
But I could turn into a bird at any moment. But not to say I don't have control over it. I can turn into it at any moment when I choose to.
There
Why are you
there's-
rubbing my nose in this, you asshole?
There are also some games and shows and whatever that are kind of like in the vein of sort of that like Evangelion or Nier Automata thing where it's just like, we're just disposable weapons used and then thrown away. We're nothing to them. But then it's like, but it seems like you have a pretty sweet deal going on. Like, you've got food, you've got a nice job, you know, like, yeah, maybe you're being forced to do it because you're the best or whatever, but it seems like a pretty sweet gig. Like, you're not in that much danger, really. Like, you're really powerful. Like, there are some things that do it well, but then other times it's like, I don't know, I'm not sure I buy it, you being sad about this. Like, I'd like the job security, to be honest.
Okay, I like Kakapo Kid's thing, and I think this is appropriate. Can Kakapos fly?
Don't think they can.
I don't know what a kakapo
In which case,
is.
I can see why you brought this up, Kakapo Kid. But people usually write people who can turn into birds that can fly. Why aren't there turds that guys who turn into an ostrich? Yeah, could you imagine how pissed you'd be? I'm going to now change you into your bird form. It will truly reflect your inner. Yes, yes, I can finally fly and soar. And why am I a kiwi?
Oh, don't
no.
shit on kiwis. I love kiwis. They're great.
No, kiwis are great, but it's just, could you imagine if, I finally get to fly and soar on the wings of an eagle? I'm stuck. I'm even
That's like a
close to the fucking ground now. This is fucking horseshit.
That's like a genie wish that goes
Yeah, that's a
wrong.
monkey's paw wish, isn't
No,
it?
sorry, turn them into a. Chickens can't fly; they flap.
Chickens can like flutter-ish.
They can get some air, but that's about it. Shit.
Also, I've looked up kakapo. These are some green birds.
They're adorable birds.
They are very cute. I don't know anything else about them, but
Chickens
they do
can fly
look
for-
adorable.
The record is 13 seconds.
Oh,
Yeah, they're rare. I think they're only on one particular island. Owl
New
parrots.
Zealand?
That's
Owl
great.
parrots? I didn't know they were
That's
called that.
great.
that's wonderful.
Oh, speaking of parrots, do you know what's fucking... Sorry, no, this fucking bewilders me,
go ahead.
right? I know why it's the case, and I know why, but it still blows me away every time I see it. So a couple of, months and months ago, I was driving to the shops, my nearby shops, and there was a fucking flock of parrots in a tree. And I was just like, what the fuck? And I stopped my car to look at them like, there is just straight up fucking tropical ass parrots in the middle of grey ass Britain. And I was just like, okay, fuck me, I guess. And I know why. It's escaped pets who find each other, right? But I was thinking, okay, maybe they're just passing through, right? Maybe they're going to a warmer country. Nope. A couple days ago, there they are again. They just live in the area. I just have a flock of parrots that lives in the area in fucking England.
That's fucking
That's
great.
amazing.
This is a probably a very much vain wish, but I would absolutely love it if they somehow adapted and just thrived. So eventually, you actually get fucking flocks of them.
Well, they're thriving pretty good from what I've seen, seeing as how I saw them
Excellent. I
several
hope so.
months later.
Most of Michigan's wildlife can be found in just like bog-ass swamps, so it's like, oh look, a beaver, I guess. That's about all we've got.
I've had deer run across my my road a couple of times.
Oh jeez, yeah, me too. Because this giant company is in my city, and they have these big woods around them, and there are just many deer in there, and you can't hunt them, so they just multiply.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing.
Well, no, but they do cross the road and eat people's bushes a lot.
You weren't going to use them.
I mean, that's true.
Hey,
I'm not saying they aren't valid. I'm just saying
now
that there
imagining
are
a deer.
a lot
I'm just
of them.
imagining a deer.
Deer are
walking up to
cancelled.
someone. I'm imagining a deer walking up to a guy who's just tending a hedge. Hey, you gonna eat that?
That's pretty much what it is. Yeah, deer hunting is a big thing in this state. There are a lot of them.
How much space do regular trees need in this game? Not fruit-bearing trees. I don't think they need as much room.
Darkstar says feral parrots going around copying the voices of the local chavs and berating the residents.
Spacing for tappers. There we go.
Yeah. Yeah. Apparently, common trees can also be planted next to water. Yeah, but it says that it can be tiled around it without any ill effects.
I can plant things in the railroad? Yo!
Plant things in the railroad.
Yo! I just got so much. It's free real estate, guys.
Oh god, fucking damn it! I hate the look of that guy's face, and every time someone says that, it just pops into my goddamn head again.
It's free real estate.
I hate you.
I'm gonna go fucking use some free real estate. I don't need the tappers yet because they're not grown. I'm getting excited.
So wait, you can actually grow stuff like farm in the railroad.
Well, at the very least, I could do trees.
Fair enough. Nice.
It's free real estate.
Savvy, are you trying to get me to leave? It's fine. Just tell me to leave.
No, it's free real estate. You don't understand.
Again, just something about that guy's
I love it.
smug ass expression just infuriates me. Partially because I can mimic that face, and I hate it.
I love that stupid skit so much.
I don't even know its origin, which is probably what makes it worse for me.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright, got an area to clear out.
Nice.
Now you'll be able to... It's one thing, I noticed you never came here when it said a train was passing through Stardew
Because you
Valley.
do not have fucking time. It says a train's passing through. You're not getting there in time. Straight up.
Eh, I nearly always do.
I don't. But that's just
You just
me.
gotta get good, Savvy.
Just gotta drink 5 cups of coffee and sprint over. Dun, dun. What the fuck are you?
I haven't
Yeah,
seen
what-
it yet. Oh, I
think
don't know.
that's the entrance to the witch's house or something.
Huh.
Is that like a...
I thought I knew everything about this game. I clearly just neglected this specific part of the map.
Yeah, I don't know anything more about it.
I don't know what that is. Is that a birdhouse on legs? I can't tell.
It looks like, I think it's meant to be some kind of sign or shield, and it's on chicken legs.
I'm gonna double check
Yeah,
how
I
far
gotcha.
I
Paco says it's a birdhouse, and yeah, Civ says that it is the witch. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, they don't need to be as radically spaced as regular ones, so I can just put them 1 square away from each other, it looks.
Are you, like, looking at a wiki to find that out?
No.
Yeah, I am.
I'm just curious, because, like, I know that games like Starbound and Terraria as well, you constantly need to use a wiki, and it's a little annoying.
Right. Okay, let's fucking try this. Let's get 3 rows running. Okay. I'll mark them, but then I'll get rid of them. So. Whoops. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
1, a 2, a 3.
Okay. Oh, gotta get me seeds. Okay.
J-Man
No.
excited about Steel Battalion.
No! Why can't I plant? Did they patch that out?
Were you lied to?
Oh. Oh, okay. I just actually need to till the ground. I thought you didn't have
Huh.
to. But, hey, whatever.
Yeah, Savvy tell. Boy.
I didn't remember. It's been a while since I've planted trees, okay? Regular trees, that is. Alright. I was getting excited, okay?
That's fair. I'm glad you're planting the best tree, though. Oaks.
You may have.
I don't get it.
You may have no oaks.
I see 6 of them.
Brother, I'm growing weaker by the second.
Please, may I have some oaks?
And may I have some oaks?
No oaks.
You may have no oaks. Hell yeah! Now let's surround these guys with some stone.
One of my favorite things about Ireland is that our word for church is kill. So,
Okay.
and here's the other thing. My real name is Dara, and the reason why I bring this up is that it means oak in Irish.
Ah.
And there is literally a entire county that is called Church of the Oak Tree. So basically, the name is Kildara, and that's where I live.
Kildara!
Because you know what? Fuck it. I like to live with danger.
That's incredible. I love that. Kildara.
Oh, man.
The good news is they can't spell it either way, so I'm fine.
That's wonderful.
That is excellent.
That's very good. Little
Oh, you
language
never
things
heard
are
me
very
speak?
funny.
Yeah.
Sorry, Civ. Yes, this is me, Cod.
That's Cod.
That's cod of wisdom.
He is wise.
As I said, I live in the place that literally is Kildara, and if anyone takes that literally, I'm not really that smart, am I? And a fish, yes.
Oh man, it's so excellent that there's even stone here to provide me with stone to make stone paths.
Yeah.
And you also have the bathhouse.
I do.
Are you suggesting he dismantle the bathhouse and use the stone from it?
No, I'm saying, well, it's partially because it helps him replenish his energy.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Again, do not know how this game works. I don't even know why I'm here. Who am I?
You're Iris.
Shit. I guess so.
Just, oh
Look,
shit.
I understand occasionally you forget, people can forget who they are and all that kind of thing, I guess.
I've just had a crazy couple of weeks, and it's not quite over yet.
What can I say? Stubble.
I guess that is something you could say. Is that, I assume that's a reference to something.
It is. It's a reference to a YouTube poop called
Okay.
Dipper Plays Video Games.
Oh no.
Like,
Okay,
what am
Chris, shut the fuck up. You shut the fuck up right now. Okay, sorry, go on.
I was just gonna say the opening line to that YouTube poop is Mabel, private part.
Private parts. Comedy gold! Comedy gold!
Gravity Falls is a really good show, by the way.
I need to watch it.
Really?
It's-
You haven't
it's-
watched it? It is actually really good.
If you like Adventure Zone Amnesty, it's basically the same shit,
Same shit as always.
but more aimed at kids, obviously.
Enough.
Yeah, but even then, there's a couple of things that I looked at and thought, huh, that certainly caused a few nightmares, didn't it?
Yeah? There are parts of it where I'm like, oh wow, huh? Kids show, huh? But it's good.
Look, they need to learn about the Eldritch Horror when they're young.
I specifically love the line, I've got some kids to turn into corpses.
God.
It's a good show.
Dorito Man Illuminati is in that show.
Yeah.
He's wearing a top hat.
So many jokes about that, and they're all good. Since you haven't watched the show, I assume you haven't read the Bill Cipher AMA that Alex Hirsch did on Reddit.
I have not.
Oh god, that's so funny too, because he's like it kind of parodies standard Reddit AMAs where like they'll do here's proof that it's me and then take a picture of themselves near the computer or something.
Yeah.
And he did like a proof it's me, and it's a picture of a quick like time lapse of a rabbit corpse decaying into dirt.
That's kind of great. That's terrible, but also kind of great.
You know what? I believe. Oh yeah, the shape-shifting monster episode's great. Kakapo.
Yeah, that's partially the one I was referring to by, that gave someone nightmares.
Guys, why is farming so satisfying?
Because you're watching something that you planted grow, and you know it's your doing. It's like watching progress.
I create life.
I actually I bought 2 cacti the other day, which I'm gonna look after. I'm gonna repot them, and then I'm gonna look after them.
Nice.
Could you name one monorail?
No, that would condemn it to death.
No, just because it's thirsty.
Shut up.
Darkstar, I love the Gifney episode. Gifney is a very good villain, I think.
Got me some eggplants.
Yep. Although, out of interest, do you call them eggplant savvy or do you call them aubergines?
Aubergines.
Figured.
But they're called eggplants in the game.
Yeah, and that's fair enough. I find it interesting that both 2 of my least favorite vegetables, for you guys, it's eggplants and zucchinis, have different names over here, which is aubergines and courgettes.
Yeah, courgettes. I call them courgettes too. Grow strong and tall, my fruit trees. I didn't spend more than I had to for nothing.
I didn't accidentally destroy you.
I didn't accidentally destroy your brethren several times for no reason. The reason was that I was a clumsy bitch. The duality of man.
That bus has been sitting there for fucking months.
Yeah, I haven't got it repaired yet. When I get it repaired, it will take me to the desert. But you know that. But Iris doesn't.
Yep.
I sure don't. I have no idea what's happening.
Just in general, you just
No,
woke up here.
Yeah.
What's happening? Who am I? Who are you people?
Who is
Pretty
Iris?
Amnesia trope.
Ha!
I'm the amnesia trope, except where I left my fucking car keys.
I'm pretty sure everyone's like that on some level.
I have left my flash drive in my graphic design classroom legitimately I think 9 times. I am so fucking stupid with remembering where I put things specifically. I just can't. I don't know why.
Damn it! I didn't get my fucking corn again. I need to go get my fucking corn and put it in here.
Oh no. Gotta get that corn.
I keep fucking forgetting to go get my corn. I hope I didn't sell my quality corn.
Oh no. Not the quality corn, that's the quality corn.
I'd make a corn joke, but that's actually a thing, I believe.
It is.
That'd be pretty corny.
You're all terrible.
Yep.
But I'm just as bad, so it works.
We're all terrible together on this bitch of an earth.
That's how it is on this pitch of an earth.
Amazing, Takio says.
Can I afford
Maze Myers.
15 amaranth? 70. What's 70 times 15?
105.
Is it? No, 70 times 15.
Oh, damn it. I was thinking 7 times 15, wasn't I? It'd be 1050.
I might have enough. I do have enough. Outstanding. I'm gonna go visit Leia. And then go get my corn. Yes, I did legitimately nearly fucking forget again. Listen.
It's alright.
What do you think I should do today? Stop being selfish, crybaby.
Oh, wow.
No, you know what? I'm actually surprised I've even gotten this far with Haley. I must have just been speaking to her offhandedly enough that I've gotten on her good graces. So let's try and be nice to her.
Yeah, like, there's no reason to just say, piss off.
But you know what? I'm going to try and be somewhat of a good influence. Do a painting.
Yeah, watercolor, that's
Like,
nice.
what
Yeah.
if someone in real life actually said that to you, where you're just like, huh, I wonder what I should do today, and you're like, you could stop being a huge fucking bitch.
You could stop being a bitch.
I can imagine someone doing that, but you'd have to be the best of friends. Like,
Oh,
to the
oh,
point
I
where
mean,
you
yeah,
actually
I mean
think,
sincerely.
Yeah,
I mean
no,
sincerely, yeah.
That's perfectly fair. Just, I could imagine someone saying that, like, but you'd have to be at the level where sending each other death threats is your way of saying hi.
Oh, yeah, Darkstar, what you're talking
Really,
about
he's
is...
rubbing it in. I bought some tasty corn the other day. Sure you did, you son of a bitch. Sorry, you were saying?
I was just gonna say, yeah, Darkstar, I actually usually think about Let's Plays like that, too. Like, whenever I watch Game Grumps or something, I'll always default to imagining that it's like the voices in a character's head instead of two people talking while playing a game. I don't know why.
Probably because it's the most reasonable way to include them into the world, because they do have an effect. So if one of them says, "Hey, watch me jump off this cliff," and the guy does, it makes the most sense.
Right, yeah, that makes sense.
Like, I do that kind of thing. If I'm in a game where it's a personality that a actual person I'm controlling, I'll act like a voice in their head saying, "Oh, for fuck's sake, are we really having to do this shit again?" You know, stuff like that.
It's an interesting sort of pathos, certainly. With that, you guys, I think I actually need to head off for now so I can eat dinner and then finish up some homework.
Fair enough. Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank
you
you
take
very
care.
much. Thank you very much for having me. It was a lot of fun. Good luck farming.
Yeah, thank you.
Hope you guys have a good
Enjoy
one.
food.
Bye.
See you, everybody.
And then there were two.
We know some good folks.
Yeah, we do.
I don't think we'll be going on for too much longer.
Yeah, we're... How long have we been going for?
Nearly 3 hours.
Damn.
Oh, well, there goes all that wood that I did actually want.
Yeah, that's. I hate chopping trees next to the water because you're going to lose some. Like, why did that one go side? I guess it's because they don't fall lengthways.
Indeed.
Oh yeah.
No.
Also, you can't get the stuff at the top of the thing
God
now.
fucking damn it. What a nightmare. I unfortunately don't think I'm going to have any, or I'm not going to have many animals on this farm. It's not really much room, unfortunately.
Yeah. Let's see, there's not. Is there anything in the top left?
A tiny bit. Not a huge amount.
Yeah, that's not great, is it?
No. If anything, I'll plant my rare seeds up there.
Fair enough. Yeah, there's not much room for an actual barn. Like where that bush is, if it wasn't there, that might
Yeah.
have worked, but
I mean, I theoretically picked this because I like fishing, but
yeah.
at the same
I
time,
haven't done much of that this stream.
I really haven't.
You're starting to feel exhausted. It's the first line of the day game. Come on.
Yeah, but I've been watering my crops all day.
I know.
I don't know why the way I said that just reminded me of one of my favorite dichotomy of man tweets, which was what's it called? It's Travis and Justin McElroy or McElroy. I think it's how it's pronounced. One of them is like Travis giving this really in-depth, like, oh, you should love yourself and like, you know, really deep stuff about like self-care and other people,
Savvy
not listening
corn.
to other people. Thank you. And
It would have pissed you off.
it would have. And then the next one after that is Justin McElroy. Just I got syrup all over my goddamn tax forms.
Yeah, that is that is the duality of man.
Really
Yes.
deep. And
Just
then
high-minded, wise, good advice to. Shit! Why did I have this syrup? Why did I have it next to my tax forms?
it's just the way that it's spelt out exactly like that as well. Just I got syrup all over my goddamn tax forms. Like, it just raises so many questions. Like, why the fuck did you have syrup near you while doing your tax forms? God.
Energy, probably.
Just chugging that shit. What's the worst thing that you've, like, just taken a swig of?
Let's see. I'm unfortunately not good for these because I'm happy to eat nearly anything.
Yeah, I'm not talking in terms of your own personal taste. I mean, what's the most societally despicable thing you've taken a straight swig of?
No, I know what you mean. Like, have I ever decided to just say, you know what I want to drink? Mayonnaise.
Yeah, I mean, what's the worst version of that you've ever had?
I'm not sure. Because I genuinely don't get many of those urges.
I've had a couple, because I'm a wretch of a human being. I've never gone so... I think I've never gone as far as mayo. That is the one. That's
Yeah,
the one
that-
line I've never stepped over. But
To
what
be fair, it's hard to drink that.
But
That's too viscous.
what I have done is I've taken a swig of soy sauce. I've taken swigs of Tabasco. I've gone through. There was one point where I was obsessed with hot sauce, so I legit like had half a bottle of Tabasco just from swigging it. At one point, I was not a healthy teen.
Yeah, that's not good. And swigging soy sauce, God, that must be so damn salty.
Yeah, it was.
I guess the worst thing I've ever drunk, and it's not in the way of, oh, you're a terrible human being. Maybe it is this kind of, and it's going to sound disgusting, but it's some kind of, my dad grows it. It's some kind of probiotic, nearly fungal growth stuff.
Ugh.
Like Yakult, but disgusting.
Did you just really need to grow you some fungi in your stomach?
No, my dad insisted that I try some of it, and
Is he now a fungus patch as he returns to the earth?
well, I hope not because he hates mushrooms.
God.
But yeah, it's just really, it was really weird tasting.
Yeah, I you know what? Surprisingly, I'm not surprised by that. Somehow. Who'd have thought that fungal growth stuff is weird tasting?
Yeah, it's probably not fungal, but it's a probiotic thing. I'm probably being unfair by saying it's fungal stuff because I'm pretty sure like he's drinking it to be healthy.
Okay, Chesk,
So
I'm
I
a
don't think there's any example of fungal stuff that you can drink that would count as healthy.
sorry, I just need to say this. Chesk, I'm Italian, and even I think chugging olive oil is a bit excessive.
Yeah, god damn.
Mamma mia. Let me boil you up with some hot olive oil.
Oh dear. Chesk, see what you did? You gave Civ heartburn. Why would you do this?
God. I've made many mistakes. Yeah, no kidding. So many things to water. So many babies to keep alive.
Iris, I thought you were getting food and studying. Why are you giving this is all really good blackmail material for Chesk in the future, but
You can study and eat while you watch a stream.
yeah, but also while gossiping.
Shush.
Fair enough. Oh,
Listen, as somebody who has struggled with focusing and needs to have like 5 other things going on in the background while completing an essay, I feel that.
trust me, I'm the same. I need to have music going and shit when I'm working because otherwise I'm too damn distracted.
I legitimately, I am just to a point where it's like, I've heard about people who are able to just sit down and just like do an essay in like silence and just do it all and not like take more than a 5-minute break every now and then, and they feel like cryptids to me.
Yeah, I don't think they exist, and if they do, who's the real weirdo?
I think it's relatively normal. I just personally find
Really?
it so okay, maybe not to that level, not focused to that level, but focused to the point where like when you sit down and decide to do an essay, you get like at least 40 minutes of just like doing it. Like, you know, what people call regular focus. Like, that is just legitimately alien to me. I've never been able to do that. Just straight up. It's why full-time disagrees with me so much.
Yeah, I apparently used to be like that when I was in, when I was really young. But no, not anymore.
I'm still like that. I have like my mind is like an 8-disc CD player, and I constantly need discs in every single one.
No, I'm saying that I used to be the person who could actually concentrate.
Oh,
Now,
right. Other
no
yeah,
longer.
yeah. All right, other way around.
I need to have a bunch of things going on at once.
Let's make.
Ooh, you have your first thing of wine.
I do.
Grape wine, which is just wine.
This one is going to have to go to the center, unfortunately, but the next one will be going to Leia. You know what? I'll make some high quality. Yeah, I'll make some high quality blueberry wine. Man, I can't wait to get what are they called? They're like called casks or something like that, where you can then drop wine into it and age it.
Yeah, I think you need a cellar for that, don't you?
You do. You need a cellar to be able to unlock that. And I've not even got the first house upgrade yet. That would be something to aim for, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. But firstly, you should probably get a good... I think the seed maker is the first thing you should aim for, because that's when you can get a good amount of seeds, so you don't have to spend half as much on...
Yeah, see,
Yeah,
I've never been too bothered by that.
inheritance.
I don't know, maybe I just... Seed makers were fine to me. I think I have one even, I just didn't put it down, maybe. No, I don't have one. Okay, well, regardless, I've never been too bothered by seed makers, personally, at the very least. I'm more about them fine materials to sell for high prices and to gift to people and enjoy wine with. Real talk, one of my favorite,
I
like...
can also tell that you're
Go
a
ahead.
fan of, having a really efficient...
Efficient what, sorry? I didn't catch that.
Efficient farm. My internet's designed to fuck with me.
Fair enough.
Sorry.
It's alright. No, but yeah, as I am absolutely a fan of that. I don't always do it perfectly, but I like having things sectioned and, in right places, and I like having a process, and which is why I refuse to plant things in the same square if they're on a different day. Like, I have to see it all come to fruition at once, which is why I also make sure that I have too much scarecrow coverage.
Yeah, so that no crows can come in and screw with your what's in the term? Aesthetic.
Yeah,
Design
exactly.
Formation.
Right. I'm gonna go check how much I need for a house upgrade. Shit, I didn't... Oh, okay, I've still got my wine. Good. Thought I sold it for a second. Which one's the artisan goods? I think it's over here. It's not artisan goods, it's something else. Hold on, let's just...
Chef?
Might,
Chef, I think.
Might be chef. I think you're right. Bulletin board, where are you? Chef's bundle. Nope, not chef. It's in here, though. Somewhere. Not field research. Enchanter's bundle, eh?
Really?
Also, Civ, thank you. Civ said my farm is really satisfying looking. Yeah, I'm very particular about having my stuff look good. It is like my first and foremost thing when it comes to anything, is aesthetic. I have picked suboptimal choices in basically anything I've ever done purely because it looks nicer or because it makes me happier. When I was first collecting Warhammer, for example, when I was a young teenager, the first army I picked up was the Tyranids, specifically because I fucking love the aliens, and that kind of alien in particular, and they look cool as hell. 10,000 gold and 450 wood. Farm buildings. Coop, barn, well, silo, mill. Sugar from beets. Flour from wheat. Not sure what that was. Shed. Shed is what I want. I can put all of my kegs in there. 15,000 gold. When the fall crops start coming in, that's when I'm going to start getting the real money. Cabin. A home for a friend. Subsidized by... Oh, that's how I do multiplayer, I think. 10 gold.
You need a
10
thing to get.
Yeah, I think so. Home for a friend. Yeah, but that's if I wanted to multiplayer. Cabin. Home for a friend. Subsidized by the town. Agricultural fund. Oh, you can... Yeah, wow, you can get like loads of different ones. Oh, and stables. Well, that's a lot of hardwood. But yeah, I was saying earlier, I didn't... I can get another shipping bin? That's excellent. That's excellent. I did not know that. Anyway, yeah, I was saying earlier in regards to wine. So, these days I'm generally a bit more about pale ale. Regular beer doesn't sit right with me more often than not. In the mornings, at least, I enjoy the taste of beer, but in the mornings it fucks me. Then dark ale I used to love, but I'm just not about it anymore. Pale ale I absolutely adore. If it's nice and smooth and light and citrusy, love it. But wine has always been like a very special thing for me because it's like the one drink which consistently I've never been able. If I've ever mixed with, like, I've mixed in the past with various kinds of alcohol, and I have been all okay enough in the mornings. Sometimes it doesn't affect me, but when it comes to mixing anything with wine, I am, like, actually dead to the world for the entire day afterwards. And that's not common, especially nowadays, but it belies a certain... it belies a certain way which I've ended up drinking wine, which is if I'm drinking wine, I take my time with it, and I make sure not to drink it too fast because I know how badly it gets to me. So whenever I have a glass of red wine, I really make a point of enjoying it, and I sit and I really taste it and like it, and I've become to really enjoy wine as a result of that. And also as a result, I've ended up having a few nights with friends where, like, we just buy a bottle or two of wine and just sit and just shoot the shit for the whole night over a bottle of wine. And it's honestly been some of my favorite ways to get to know people. There's something really specific to socializing and getting to know somebody over a bottle of wine. And I can't really put my finger on it. But it's I like it. I've got a certain affinity for wine for that reason.
Sorry if I'm being quiet. It's partially because my internet is spazzing out, and
problem.
I don't want to ruin things by being robotic.
No problem. It's fine so far. What? I like your hair just the way it is. Dye it black, wear not blonde. How about bubblegum pink? I personally would suggest pink because that's who I am, so I'm just going to go with that because the only ones I'm going to look up are Leah, honestly. How about bubblegum pink? You're always good for a laugh. That's affinity up anyway. Whatever.
And what do you mean laugh? Like, bubblegum pink isn't... Your hair's already purple.
Hey, different limits.
I suppose.
Personally, I adore pink hair. Unsurprisingly. Who'd have thought, right?
I'm quite shocked. I may need to lie down.
I'm shocked and appalled. Oh, side note, it's only really red wine that I really like. White wine I can't stand. However, if you've ever had peach or cherry wine, it's delicious. Strawberry wine as well is similarly delicious. I just love wine of anything that's atypical.
Strawberry wine, you say?
Yes.
I'm sure Red Path knows nothing of strawberry wine.
And the nice thing about peach and cherry wine as well is that if you're not feeling having a particularly heavy night, it goes. It's like I'm personally like not all about diluting wine. I'm not that big a fan of it, but I have really enjoyed diluting peach and cherry wine with a little bit of lemonade, good quality lemonade specifically. And a couple of cubes of ice. It's like a spritzer, or whatever it's called. It's nice.
Yeah, I know white wine spritzer is generally a sparkling drink and white wine. You're talking to someone who doesn't drink at all, so unfortunately I'm in the Irish state of I don't know a huge amount, but I'm going to just nod and, you know.
Yeah, no, that's
like
fair.
what I know is generally because of my parents. They're fans of wine, particularly my mum loves red wine, partially because she was told by her doctor that she had to drink red wine because she has hasn't got enough iron in the blood.
I see.
And my dad likes white wine.
I see. Civ says peach fucking wine. Yeah. Also, oh man, we have berries here. Cloudberries that only grow in the marsh, and a brewery in my nan's town makes cloudberry wine. It's so good. What? I've never heard of cloudberry. I'm gonna Google that.
That sounds fucking amazing.
Cloudberry.
Hold on a second. I actually want to look up.
Oh, those look so cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. I love them. Oh, I'd love to try that. I would love to try wine out of something that looks like that.
Yeah, they look like a mixture between tiny bell peppers and raspberries.
I love that. That's beautiful. That looks like a fantasy fruit. Also,
it sounds like a fantasy fruit with a name like
it does. It sounds
wine.
like it sounds like
Cloudberry.
sounds like a Final Fantasy thing. Also, what's the name of reverse strawberries? White strawberries with red seeds. What are those called again?
I have no clue.
They do exist. Hold on, I'm googling this. I don't care. I'm googling this.
Pineberry.
Pineberry. Oh, I've never got to try pineberry. I really want to try pineberry, and I'm now... Oh, God, is there such a thing as pineberry wine? Is there such a thing as pineberry wine? Nothing's coming up for pineberry wine.
Let me just check. Pineberry alcohol, because...
Yeah, that's true. Maybe it's something different.
Yeah, because technically anything can be made into an alcohol so long as it can ferment.
Sorry, I should keep playing. You look that up for me, please.
Yeah, I don't see anything here actually, which is interesting in itself.
Civ, oh my god, yeah, if you could send me a candle if it's not too much trouble and not too much money for you, I would adore that. That would be lovely. I love I love scented candles. I love what's it called? Incense sticks. Is it? Yeah. So like anything that smells nice, absolutely. I'm all about that. Oh man, like these last 2 days have just been such a lovely sentimental ride for me, just remembering that bugs and beetles exist, and then just reveling in berries and fruits and wines and getting drunk off of like old fruit because we're dumb monkey people. I love it. Humans, like, we don't give humans enough credit. We're really cute animals, and we have a lot of great shit as a result of it. Like, there is bad shit going on, but it just makes me really joyous just to remember stuff like, you know, just the fact that something like beetles exist as well.
Mm.
I want that big plush beetle that I found on Amazon.
I actually follow a beetle on Twitter, as silly as that sounds.
That does not sound silly at all.
Spike the beetle. They got some renown because they literally could, they were stag beetles or something, and they could grab pens with their pincers and would basically have been taught how to just not draw, but like
Scribble.
swipe it across a thing. Yeah, scribble. So even that's kind of impressive, and it's just interesting to see because not something that most people would want to know about, but it actually keeps a diary of the beetle along with its descendants, basically.
I love
and
that
you
stuff.
can see it growing from the pupa stage into an actual black-shelled beetle.
That's excellent. That's so excellent. Man, I'm just smiling thinking about berries. That sounds dumb, but I really am. I just love just colourful things which are just nice, you know. I love how pine berries look as well. God, pine berries look so cool. I love them. Why aren't they more popular?
Probably. I wonder if it's because they're. I think it's because they're a new fruit.
Indeed, they were bred. They were bred by us, weren't they? Guys. Oh, speaking of berries. Oh god, it's so well timed. All of these cranberries, baby. Oh my god. Hell yes. Hell yes. Oh, that's so many cranberries. Yes. Amaranth. That's a square. That is a square freed up. Okay, one more day. One more day and I'll end it. Sorry, I'm just really... I needed this right now. I needed some Stardew Valley. You can go if you need to. Don't worry about it.
No, I'm hanging around to the end. You can't get rid of me that easily. But yeah, just looking up the Wikipedia page for pineberry. It might be because apparently it's highly priced, not very profitable due to small-scale farming, small berry size and low yield. So in other words, they're not very plentiful.
So commercially they're bad, basically.
Yeah, it's not. They're not the. You could probably do it on your own, but you could probably, you won't find a place selling pineberry wine. You might find a place selling pineberry flavored wine.
You have no idea.
It would be more pineapple.
You have no idea how strong the temptation to learn how to grow pineberries and make wine just happened for me.
Oh dear.
Oh my god, I could make pineberry wine and I could gift it to my friends. That would be amazing. When I have my own place, I'm doing that.
More power to you. I guess the main thing is to see if you are going to be doing that kind of thing. How the fuck do you grow them?
That's what research is for.
Mm-hmm.
You can do anything if you put your mind to it. Right, I need to start putting together a Grange box as well, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a chest first and foremost. And this is going to be my special high-quality stuff chest. I've got to make sure to get all my best stuff in here. So we're going to make this a gold... No! What am I talking about? Pink, because I'm all about pink. Right, so... Cranberry.
I'm glad you're enjoying it, Nitaris, sorry.
Nitaris. This was the first Savvy stream I've really stuck around for, and it's so wholesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate you saying so. Thank you. Okay. I'll do what I always do, and I always put all my candidates in the same place. So... Oh. Okay. You. We need a good mix of everything. I don't have any animals, unfortunately, so I'm not going to be able to get any animal goods. I don't know if I can get first place if that's the case. Don't have any of my don't really have any more high quality stuff here either. I'm looking at mostly fruits and veggies, unless I can pick up some good gems in the meantime. Plum jelly will add to that. That's fair. Yeah, normally I'd have mayo and stuff going on by this point as well, but there's really not much room on this farm.
I don't have that.
Yeah. The lack of animal goods does put a dent in that. There is a few candidates for where I could place animals if I were inclined to do so. This would be a good place for a hut for chickens. I do like making me some good mayo. This wouldn't necessarily be the worst place to have a barn. It's just that I've got my trees here at the moment.
Yeah, and you've already just accidentally destroyed them already. So
Yeah. Up here would be a decent place for a coop as well.
yeah,
I could always put my...
That's not big enough for a barn, though.
I could always actually just fucking put my barn here.
You see that? You see that bush with the pink berries? You right click on it.
Yes, genius. But yeah, no, so this, I mean, up here isn't necessarily the worst place in the world. I would just have to corner off everything correctly, and I might need to reorganize my farm a little bit to accommodate for all that. I also do want to get myself a proper... I would like to get a proper shed, or whatever it's called, at some point, in order to let me get some proper space for wine and such. I wonder if there'd be room down here, actually, once I get these rocks cleared out. Would need iron. Ugh, I am gonna have to fucking go down to the mines one way or another, aren't I? Because I need some of them quality gems as well. Yeah. Oh well, that's how it be. Let me get me a spade. I'll get myself 9 of something else in town. Don't think I won't go down to the mines again today because that takes time.
Yeah, and you said it was only going to be one more day.
Yeah.
So.
One day more. I'll go visit Linus and I'll give him some berries while I'm at it. But first, we're gonna buy 9 of something. Leah! Wild mushrooms. Yeah. You're great. Let's sell some of this stuff. I'll keep a hold of the hazelnut just in case. Oh, that investment coming through. Fuck yeah. 4,000 for a stack of 54 cranberries. Fuck yes.
Do you get more or less from Pierre than selling it via the box?
I believe it's the same amount because you are selling to Pierre. I believe is the idea.
Honestly, didn't know that. I always assumed that selling by the box was, got more return. I've never actually tried, so...
Yeah. What would be a good investment on that block of 9? If I grab pumpkins, that would make sense, actually. Just in case I don't get enough quality ones to fill up that, the stack, yeah. And
quantity.
For good measure, I've got to try and remember what do I need to make for good quality fertilizer. Sap and fish. Well, looks like we know what we're doing for the rest of the day. However, what I will do is I'm going to make use of this money and I'm going to buy some trees. Peach. I don't know if I have any peaches yet, but I kind of want more if I don't. Orange is always really lovely as well.
Yeah, I can't remember what you got.
I know I got apples. I think I got apples, cherries, and... I don't know about oranges. What do you reckon? Peaches or oranges? Or pomegranates?
Let's see. Do they all sprout in summer?
Ooh, actually, I don't necessarily have... Oh, wait, I might have enough to buy... Oof, I might be able to skim 2 trees. If I
Civ,
sold
what do you mean by
something
finger
else.
tree?
I'm not sure what you mean by finger tree either. Oh, you know.
No, I don't.
Mm,
Do I have to look something up in Urban Dictionary?
I'm not going to be able to buy 2 pomegranate trees. Maybe I'll just save my money. Because I want to get a house upgrade as well, actually.
In computer science, a finger tree is a purely functional data structure that can be used efficiently to implement over other functional data structures.
I don't think that's what the implication was. No, I
I
lost a
assume
blackberry.
not.
Just in all caps, I was fucking around.
It's a funny thing whenever you fuck around and then you look it up and find out, oh shit, it's a real thing. Thankfully, not quite as a real thing as that.
Oh, hello,
Finger
robot.
tree sounds like. Pretty sure I've heard of some bullshit with hand tricks or something.
You've become
No,
robot. Linus, I have some stuff for you. First, here's a gift. Oh, and then here's a gift. And Linus loves me. I love Linus. He's great. Oh, you are still pretty robot. Choo-choo-choo-choo-choo. Let's go do some fishing and make some quality stuff. Time to make some quality pumpkins. I need precisely 8 fish. Shouldn't be too hard in theory before the end of the day. Oh, it's a feisty one. He's coming at... Life comes at you hard and fast. I don't fight it. I just go with the flow. Because going against the flow just means you're swimming in place. And eventually you get tired and then you drown. And then it's over, the end. Yeah, baby. That's 3. Do I have any of my... Oh, wait. Do crayfish count? Well, I'll keep fishing just for the sake of it. Also, that life lesson is from Space Dandy, which you should totally watch if you haven't. I horribly butchered the quote, but I still love it. It's a good scene. I need to finish that. I never did finish that, actually, because of... I was watching it with... Oh, shit, yeah, I was watching it with my ex at the time. And I never finished it because she broke up with me. That's fun. That's a fun memory. Fun memories here with Savvy today. I should really finish that. It was a good series. There's no reason I shouldn't have finished it. Where did I even get to on Space Dandy? I think they were just done on the planet, which was constantly repeating the same day. Fishy, fishy. Green. And some bait. Outstanding. It's okay, Savvy. I started watching it with my ex and finished it with Will. Oh, well, what do you know? It all works out. Also, what a coinkydink that we should both have a similar enough experience with Space Dandy. Oh, also, in terms of Space Dandy, one thing I can say about it. First of all, well, obviously the intro is fucking fantastic. It's so funky and amazing. But the rest of the songs on the album that's from, I think his name is like Yasuyuki something. He's fantastic. The 3 or 4 other songs that he wrote up for Space Dandy are so good. They're called Scanty Blues, Smell, and there's one other, but they're all excellent. Does that mean if you start watching Space Dandy with a girl, you'll inevitably break up with them? I can't say, but, you know, it's up to you to take that risk. Let's make us some quality. Need one more fish. One more fish before bed. One fish more. That's not a fish. Give me that fish. No. What good is a fucking river home if I can't catch fish on it? Here we go. Oh, he's a lazy boy. He's a slowpoke. Oh, if I caught a slowpoke in this game, I'd keep it forever. Slowpokes are one of my favourite Pokemon. One of. There's too many good boys in Pokemon. Too many good boys and girls in Pokemon. Fuck, I didn't need an extra one because this is only a thing of 9. Well, looks like I got backup for the future. Here we go. We're going to have us some quality pumpkins. Man, I could just keep going with this game. I really could, but I cannot afford to this night in particular. I do need to get to bed for work tomorrow. But you know what? I've had a good time. My farm has come far. I think next time I definitely want to get me... Probably want to organize the farm a little bit differently, but that's what winter's for. That's the beautiful thing about winter in this, is that it gives you a natural point at which to completely overhaul your farm, because you can't grow crops, all of them die, you just completely start over. It's good. I like this game. It gives you really great places that if you ever think like, oh man, I'm not too keen on the way the farm's turning out, well, don't worry, winter's around the corner. Wow. Progress has been saved. I didn't sell anything. And we're just going to come out. We're going to admire the farm. We're going to see if anything's grown. Nothing's grown. Well, that's how it be sometimes. Right. With that, let's just quickly check. I doubt that there will be. Oh, what do you know? Oh, it's... There is one, though I am pretty tired, you'll have to excuse me. It is Danny DeVito in Skyrim. But, oh, I'll do my...
Man, you finally woke up.
You finally woken up. Let me do my standard spiel before, we roll out of here. Hey, everybody. Thanks for coming along and chilling out for some Stardew Valley with me and talking about various points of conversation. If you like what we do here, then please feel free to jump onto our Discord server, which is linked in the chat. We have a lot of really great folks there. I can't understate how many wonderful people we have as part of the community already. And you can get the first notifications as to when we're going live, what we're going live with, talk about our various shows, which I must apologise for being on hold recently. There's been stuff going on in real life that I have to deal with in the next week or two. Now, it is obviously going to put a damper on my side of streaming for a while, but we're going to try and get some other people streaming, get other stuff up and running in the meantime, and in theory I can come back with a vengeance, with much more time on my hands, and I can hopefully start getting things just properly rolling again, because I know that recently we've not got a visual novel up, we've not got Kingdom Death up, it's just been chill streams, and you know, I do want to change that, but life be like that sometimes. But yeah, we'll come back with a vengeance. It's going to be great. I can't wait for it. But in the meantime, if you are enjoying it, please feel free to subscribe, throw some money our way. We really appreciate it. It all goes back into the stream. Goes back into various games that we play in terms of tabletop RPGs, all of that good stuff. I'm rambling. Thanks, guys, for coming out. We really appreciate it. We love you guys. I don't know if COD's here, but say goodbye to stream if you're here, COD.
Bye.
Hey, you just managed. Sweet. Alright. See you, stream.